As always, a big shout out to Nick Ellis of Two Brothers Comics for that awesome intro video. I love that. I watch it more than I should because it's really cool. Speaking of things that are really cool, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Mr. Alan Breedlove. What's happening, Alan?
What is going on, Josh? Tonight is going to be a huge night for us. And we got one of the two brothers backstage now, and I am coming out the gate swinging with the hard questions. There's no doubt about it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid to ask what kind of questions those might be.
Well, I mean, the number one, the biggest question, the one that we have to answer before this show ends. Why does your nose run, but yet your feet smell?
That is really terrible.
That is terrible, but I need to know these things. And I think the man that can answer that question is getting ready to jump on screen.
You think so? Do you think he knows the answer to that?
Let's do it. So, the one, the only. You bring him on? Am I bringing him on?
I'll bring him on. Here he is. Mr. Dustin Ellis.
What's going on, guys? I'd like to start off by saying I don't know what's wrong with Alan's body parts, but my nose drips and my feet stink. So I don't know. I think a better question would be, why do we park in a driveway and drive on parkways? That seems like something that needs a little more explaining to me. But
my favorite one is if pros and cons are opposite, does that mean that Congress is the opposite of progress?
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Like, really?
So before we get too far into it, I do want to say this right quick. I know a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with Whatnot, but Mad Cave Studios has been doing giveaway streams on Whatnot, and a couple of weeks ago, I won a retailer incentive for a upcoming book that they have coming out. I have read this book that they're getting ready to come out with. It is awesome. I love this book. And tonight I will be giving away the retailer incentive on the stream. I'm not going to tell you what book it is. I'm not going to tell you what's actually in here. The only way you're going to find out is to win it and it show up at your house. And the way that you're going to win it is, all you got to do is, like usual, make one comment in the stream, tell us what's up, and we will put you in the spinny wheel of death.
It make you very dizzy in there. I'll just tell you, you don't want to be in there.
Yes, we will. Oh, Lord have mercy. There's people popping up all over the place.
There really are. You bring the two brothers on and suddenly people get excited.
Really?
I shared the stream on our channel too. I don't know if it's something different, but I everything's titled for everybody to come over here. So hopefully,
well, I saw when I sent you the link earlier. I saw a little thing that said, "Flip this, and your guest can share on their whatever." And I was like, "Okay, let's see what happens."
Okay, so maybe that's what it. Yeah, but if you're watching on the Two Brothers Comics channel, just come over to the Havens channel and hang out here on their show, on their channel, and hit their subscribe button, because if you're watching on our channel, you're like 30 seconds late, so you're not even getting everything as quick as you really should be. So,
and this is like a live sporting event. You got to catch it fast.
That's right, because we might just have to do a little quick clip and edit. You might miss something, never get a chance to see it.
You never know. Let's see who we got in the chat, because the chat is blowing up. We got Tots saying, "Hey, what's happening, Tots?" We got Blue Hellion popping in all the way from Nebraska, representing the great state. Good to see you as always. What's happening, James? Always good to see you, man. We got Bill Fisher in the house. What's happening, Bill? Man, I had Mexican for dinner the past 2 nights, so this is probably not going the direction you were thinking it might. Apologize to everybody. What's happening, Raymond? Got Vinny.
Vinny, what's going on, man? Long time no see.
Ryan.
My man,
got some Panda in the house.
What's up, Adrian?
Man, it's always good to see Panda. We don't see enough Panda. We should bring Panda on more often.
No, we haven't seen Panda in a while. What you got going on, brother?
It has been a minute. Let's see who all we got. We got Couchin and Slouchin. That's pretty good. That's a good name. I dig that. Let's see who all we got. The Spinning Wheel of Death. People are digging that.
Bust the deal, face the wheel.
Just try real quick. Got to rep the bros. That's right.
Hey, and like I said, for all of y'all that are making a comment, I am adding y'all to the Spinning Wheel of Death now.
We got Mike Wesolowski in the house. Always good to see Mike. We got Perry in. How's it going?
What's up, Perry?
We got Bleecker Street.
Bleecker, what's up, bud? That's one of my hunt buddies. He's a good friend of mine. He is in Canada, and he has a comic booth that he does at the local market there on Sundays. So
rock on.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
This is Haven Comics Shop Talk. If you look up Haven Comics on YouTube, we should be pretty easy to find. Or Alan can do that thing where he posts links in the chat.
I will do that right now. Steve,
how you doing? Good to see you. I'm not sure. Oh, come on now, Blue Hellion. Come on now, brother. I'm not the ref here. I'm just the voice of reason and wisdom. Mike, I think you are representing on Facebook by yourself, but you're welcome. Always good to have you no matter what forum that you're on. So first things first, Alan, I think we need to hit that store folio and show people what you're reading this week so we can talk about it.
Hey, you know what? Before we hit the store folio, I'm going to say this right quick. I had never seen a store folio until I was watching a Two Brothers video one time, and Dustin whips out this store folio, and I believe you might have had Negan on it. I can't remember. And I was like, oh, that's kind of dumb. I don't see a point in wasting money on that. Well, then hang on a second, I'm getting there. As time went by, I'm like watching you pull out this store folio more and more and more. The next thing I know, I order one, and it comes in, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of nice. I see why he's digging it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I think you had Negan on it. I had to go with Firestorm.
Right.
But my store folio does represent. We got the Two Brothers sticker, the Haven Comics sticker, and I added a Mad Cave sticker because I do love my Mad Cave.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do not go to a Comic-Con without at least 2 store folios in the backpack.
You know what? Whenever you ordered that, Alan, we've had an empty store folio sitting on the shelf for sale at the shop for like 3.5 years.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
really?
we had 5 of them, and it took a while. We sold 4 of them, but we've had one just sitting there forever.
I might have to grab it from you then. You can't have that thing just sitting there, and I am in the market for a new one.
That's a good question right there.
What do we got?
I don't know. We'll have to see. I know still kind of up in the air on what day I'm going to get down there, if it's going to be Friday in time to go to the show on Friday, or if it's going to be Friday night. So we'll have to see, but we definitely do need to do another one of those because we've done several, and they're always a lot of fun.
All the ones where you two are in the car are funny.
Yeah.
Now the one where you two were in the car with Ryan, that was hysterical.
Yeah, that was a fun day.
That was good stuff.
That was a great day. We had a good time. I love being able to do that kind of stuff. Just jump in the truck with a couple of good buddies and just go hit some shops, man. Can't beat that.
I'll tell you, one of my favorite ones, I can't remember where y'all went. It was just you and Nick in the truck, and you were driving, and I think somebody might have like blew their horn at you or pulled out in front of you or something, because you all of a sudden spun around and you went, we're filming here. I mean, damn, we're influencers. And dude, I lost it. I mean,
we were first of all, okay, I did not claim we were influencers, okay? Celebrities was the
celebrities,
term
that was
okay? And it was on our way to Lexington Comic-Con, our first trip to Lexington, first time meeting Justin Birch in person. But yes, that That was a really good one. I actually clipped that up and did some shorts. Empire, what's up, bro?
Empire.
But yeah, that was a good one. That was
one owned me.
We didn't record any of the road trip this time. It
Letting
was
your fans down, man.
But it was kind of like it was like pouring rain the whole time and muggy and dark and wasn't very good filming weather. But we'll definitely have to get something else like that.
Watching Nick get twitchy on the road driving in the rain, that'd be fun.
Right?
I could see that.
Watching Nick
here, man.
Funny period.
That's true. Well, you ready to go with this Storefolio?
Yeah, let's go to the Storefolio
Let's see what we're reading. Let's talk about some comics. This is a comic podcast or comic YouTube show.
So right off the bat, we're not going to really talk about this book too much other than just show off the cover. Everybody knows these have been coming out. So far, this has actually been my favorite cover to come out of the Disney-fied covers.
Oh, that's cool.
The reason why
they've all been fantastic, but that one is great.
Spider-Goof owned me. I love Spider-Goof. They could have done the entire cover of just him, and I'd have been happy and content. Oh, please. You know that is awesome right there. So, yeah, just the...
I like Pete. Pete's definitely...
Oh, yeah. Pete as Thanos is pretty perfect.
Yeah, they did a really good job with this one. I am looking forward to the Iron Mickey that's coming out. That's actually a
really
very, very nice looking cover.
I haven't seen that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, and I think they're doing what, 1 or 2 a month up until the summer.
Are these all like incentives or?
No, they're all open to order.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you what it is. And you want my cynical comic shop owner take on this?
Oh, yeah.
Marvel's sales numbers on Spider-Man, their flagship title, are tanked.
No.
They're crap.
With all that good writing?
So here's what they're doing. They are artificially goosing those numbers by making these special covers all Spider-Man covers. It's just that Spider-Man, 23 you got there? Is that one?
I believe
it started with 17, 19, 21, 23. And they're going to keep doing this for a bit. But what it's doing is it's artificially spiking their sales numbers on Spider-Man and making Spider-Man look like it's a big hit when, in fact, it's just this cover.
Yeah.
Yes, this is Spider-Man 23. Had to take out a look.
I've got a Fantastic Four #1 and an Avengers 4 #1 homages here. Josh gave me that are super cool.
So, they're fantastic books. They're really great covers. They're a lot of fun. Yep. But it's garbage that what they're doing is just goosing their sales numbers on Spider-Man to make it look like it's a better selling book than it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's just playing a numbers game, and it's crap.
And it really kind of goes to show like how bad the writing is that you have to fluff the numbers on your most popular character, on what could possibly be the most popular character on the planet. Like that should sell itself. It should
be well written. It should be good. Everybody should be picking it up, talking about it at the water cooler and waiting for the next issue to drop. And instead, it's disgusting and terrible. The art is awful. It's just bad all the way around. It's bad. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I've always loved Spider-Man, and I can't stand to look at it right now.
Yeah, and then they're doing that to one of their flagship characters. And you've got like Daredevil and Fantastic Four, their 2 runs they're going right now.
Moon Knight
are freaking phenomenal. I mean, they are just absolutely great. And the reason being is editorials leaving them alone. They're letting those writers do their thing.
Same thing with Moon Knight.
Yep, same thing with Moon Knight. But while Disney is having some problems with some editorial, let me tell you somebody who's not having any problems, and that is DC with Batman Joker Deadly Duo #6.
That's a 7-issue limited series, and if you guys are not reading it, that is a fan-freaking-tastic comic book. It's so good.
Yes, and the end of this book right here, it's great. I'm not going to spoil this on any level. I will say this. I've enjoyed this and loved this little limited run so much that as soon as the trade paperback comes out, I'm picking one up and we're giving away on the stream. Yep. The story from start to finish so far has been great. The art, I mean, what can we say?
We knew the art was going to be spectacular going in, right?
Is Mark Silvestri on that?
Mark Silvestri.
Mark Silvestri is doing the pencils and inks.
Yep.
He's doing everything except colors. And he's the writer. And we knew going in the art was going to be spectacular because Mark Silvestri is phenomenal. Honestly, I wasn't expecting the story to be this good. But the story is fantastic. He makes the coolest thing. He makes this Batman Joker team relationship work while still being completely true to both characters. It's fantastic. And speaking of fantastic, we've got somebody else who's wandering around backstage if they're going to come in here.
He's trying to set the mood.
I suppose he is. He's got to make a dramatic entrance. So speaking of dramatic entrances, what's happening, Mandalorian?
Boo! Boo!
Can't find the button. It doesn't matter. This season sucked anyways.
Now you've got to go bathe in the living waters of Mandalore.
I refuse to watch this season.
I watched the first episode and just have not had time to watch anything else. I mean, I'm still going to watch it because, why not?
You know what, though? Can we go back to talk?
We got no audio whatsoever.
What?
Your audio cut completely out for just a minute.
How about now?
Much better.
Much better. Can you hear me? Dustin, you look bald as... We can't cuss. We're on Haven Comics. You look bald.
At least I look that way on purpose.
Look, if I do this, you can't even tell it's receding that bad. You know what, though?
We've got all the stages of hair right here on this show today.
Please, mine is looking good.
Yeah, both of them.
What's your wife?
Both of them.
Both of them. Dustin wins.
Hey, y'all don't understand the struggle. If I go more than about 3 weeks without a trim, these 3 hairs start just getting unruly.
But for real, though, Spider Boy.
Oh my Lord, we'll talk about that in a minute.
What are you people doing anymore? Come on,
really?
I wish Nick Lowe
now how this game works. So we'll get into it, I guess, later. He said.
But to finish up with Batman Joker Deadly Duo 6, once again, perfect blend of drama, comedy, and now we got horror mixed in. He has done a great job with it. The Bride, that is probably one of the best, freakiest, and smartest characters that we've seen in a long time.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome.
So y'all have heard me complain a lot. I've been telling y'all for a long time that the only good Star Wars title is Darth Vader right now. But the main title's been turning it around here lately. And Star Wars 33, in all honesty, I wasn't that big on the artwork on this particular issue. But the story is getting really, really, really good again. It's almost like they're ramping back up. For anybody that's following the Star Wars titles, you know that the time frame that we're in right now is between Empire and Return of the Jedi. They've got to wrap it up soon and get us to Return of the Jedi. I'm actually looking forward to that because after Jedi, we're going to get fresh, brand new stories. I mean, we're not going to be where we're headed after that is like 20, 30 years in the future. So we've got a ways to go. My next book, and I'm going to try to run these quick. I've only got 3 left and then the throwback pick. I knew that Dustin was coming on tonight, and this one happened to come out last week, so I went ahead and grabbed this and threw it in my pick, and that is Skull and Bones Savage Storm number 2. It is a pirate series that's going on right now.
Yep.
It is based off of some Ubisoft creation. I have no idea what it's actually based off of.
It's a video game.
But Skull and Bones number 1, Savage Storm 1, you don't get a ton of setup when it comes to the characters. You don't get a lot of backstory. You jump straight into the middle of the fight. The storm hits and it is on. It has been nonstop. You've literally got pirates versus trading company versus some type of sea cop who's really and truly going to end up being a pirate himself. There's a lot of backdoor deals going on, a lot of shady stuff going on. It's actually been really, really fun.
It was surprisingly good.
I knew nothing about other than, hey, that sounds like it's going to be pretty good. And I think it's a limited series also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an ongoing. Don't think it's going to be an ongoing series. Thank you very much, Vinny.
Yeah, I believe it's supposed to be the first one's supposed to be 3 issues.
Yeah, and it's been really, really good. The art's been good. The story's been good.
Yeah, I'd look into that.
Yeah, I'd definitely say check this one out, Dustin. I think
it's almost like somebody subscribed you to that book.
Well, I mean, I could subscribe him to it, but it's going to be a pain in the rear end for him to come pick up his books.
No, I'm saying that somebody subscribed you to the book.
Yeah, that does happen quite often.
I know I'm looking forward to that Godzilla and the Pirates book that's coming out. That looks cool.
You look like a Godzilla
too.
I've already put in for some of the special covers.
Legion.
What's up, Mark?
What's happening?
Dude.
For those of y'all that are just jumping on, we are doing a giveaway tonight. It is a retailer incentive that I got from Mad Cave Studios. I'm not telling anybody what the book is. It's an upcoming book. I've read the book. It's a fantastic book. It's a great book. I loved it.
It's your grandpa's book.
Do what?
It's your grandpa's book.
It's grandpa's book. But the only way you're going to find out what's actually in the retailer incentive is to win. How do you win? You literally make a comment. I put you in the spinning wheel of death. And at the end of the show, we will go ahead and do our drawing. And if you're still in the chat at the end of the show, speak up and we will send it to you. But
that's an impossibly good background there, Nick.
It's all right. But speaking of books that I randomly get signed up for, we have a Birch book. Y'all know him.
Just garbage it. Throw it in the garbage.
Do what?
Forget that
just
guy.
throw it in the garbage.
You know what? We love Birch on this show.
He abandoned us.
But this one, Breath of Shadows #3, we are going so far down the Twilight Zone, Tales from the Dark Side rabbit hole with this one.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even funny. It is actually freaky. It has been a fun book to read.
Out of the first issue, when giant centipedes start crawling out of people's eyeballs, you knew something was going to be freaky. It wasn't.
Oh, yeah, you definitely knew something was up with that one. But it's been a really good book. I mean, it's been fun to read. If you're into horror, you will definitely like this. Like I said, I don't want to give a ton away about it because I don't want to spoil anything. But art's been great. Birch has done his thing. And let's be honest, if you're not collecting Birch books, are you really and truly a collector?
I want to know what happened here. It sounds like they're throwing the gauntlet down at you guys.
No, he is. He still attends their show.
Yeah, every Friday morning, starting at 7 a.m.
He just abandons us.
Did he insist on y'all changing the name to like Justin Birch and the Two Brothers?
Oh, I don't know. That would have required some sort of notice that he was just rolling out.
B. Ramey, what's
what
happening?
Up, B. Ramey?
Hello, Brandon.
Hello, Brandon. Brandon.
Next up on the list, Batman 134.
I told you that was a freaky book.
Yes, it was a freaky book. We now know who the Red Mask is. And yes, you're right. We should have known the entire time that it was him.
It looks like a goober.
When you find out who it really is, you'll understand why he looks the way he looks. You're going to be like, oh, yeah. Once again, Chip Zdarsky is doing his thing. But the main story is not what I want to talk about on this one. What I want to talk about is the secondary story. A lot of books now, we're getting these secondary stories and people are complaining about them because they're like, hey, that's not what I paid for. I paid for the main book. I paid for the main story. This particular secondary story, Chip Zdarsky is writing it also. and it is actually the other side of the story that we're not seeing. So basically, Batman is in an alternate reality, and there's only one person that truly believes he's still alive, and that is Tim Drake, and he's doing everything he can to find Batman. That's your secondary story. It's basically his adventure to find Batman and what all he's going through. And we know that at some point, both these stories are going to collide. I mean, that's going to be their inevitable outcome. And the secondary story is just as good as the main title. I mean, it's really good. Y'all know on this show, we cannot get enough of Chip Zdarsky's Batman or Daredevil. So yeah, 134, great read. My throwback pick of the week.
Pick of the week, yeah.
Yeah, this was one of those. I love the cover. It comes from an era where.
Hang on a second now. Oh. Don't get us wrong. We're enjoying Detective too.
Oh yeah, love Detective too.
Ram V built it up, and we're enjoying Detective quite a bit. We're both just really digging Zdarsky's Batman.
Yep. But now my throwback pick of the week comes from an era where the covers actually told a story, and the covers pertain to what was going on in the book. And we have Uncanny X-Men number 140. Wendigo is handling business on this cover.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, the attention to detail on the covers from this era was absolutely great. And it's just a great throwback cover. I mean, you look back in the corner, and I mean, we've got basically everybody done got their ass whooped on this one. That's all there is to it. And that's just a fun cover. So throwback pick of the week, Uncanny X-Men 140.
I love that it spells his name out on there, because so many people say his name wrong, and it's like, you know what? Go check that cover out right there. It's just right there for you. You can't mess it up.
So
I would disagree with you on that.
I can kind of somewhat agree with you on it. They've gone in two totally different directions, and Zdarsky is really doing, totally different than what Ram V is doing. I'll be honest with you, and I talked about it last week for a couple minutes. I did not like when Ram V first took over Detective. It was just way too weird with this whole opera thing that he had going on. But after he got his setup complete and we were able to get completely into the story, I love Detective Comics. I love what he's done with it now. It just took a while to get there.
But let's be honest, though. It doesn't matter what's happening because they're going to reboot next year again anyways. So it's pretty much irrelevant what DC Comics is doing.
I don't know if they're going to reboot simply because Josh Williamson is now kind of guiding everybody.
He's the architect.
Yeah, he's kind of funneling everything in one direction.
I'm also just dying over the Impossible Man catching a spanking over Nick's right shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got me right over his left shoulder, and I don't even remember posing for that.
And then the little heart-shaped Impossible Man butt down there on the corner.
You'll never find a panel as good as this of a Stilt Man. Look, he's not enjoying it either. This is not pleasurable.
Oh, really?
I bet when Valkyrie hits you, it hurts.
Oh, was that Valkyrie?
Pretty sure.
I thought it was an old Indian woman, I think. Let me see. Maybe it is
be
Valkyrie.
An Asgardian person, most likely. Anyway.
Oh, you know what? It probably is Asgardian.
Oh, yeah. It looks like it's more like Asgardian.
Ouch. All right. So, where'd we all go?
Oh, what happened? Oh, there we go.
It's like, wow, you must have something real important to say. But no, there's some great comics out right now that I'm really enjoying. And I don't know what y'all should both be reading Black Tape from AWA.
I've tried several of those books when they first came out, and AWA, and I know this is going to really piss Alan off, has not written a single thing that's held my interest.
Well, you're not a horror fan to begin with.
No, I'm not into horrors.
And horror that's books. One of their big things is horror.
Yeah, not my cup of tea. If it makes me feel uncomfortable or uneasy, I'm not into it. I just want to laugh and love and be entertained and then have my heart torn out whenever Nick Lowe decides he hates everything Spider-Man.
Oh God.
Well, if what you just said is true, you should be reading the current Fantastic Four.
Speaking of FF4,
Maybe check out some of those Golden Age romance books. That sounds like something that would be right up your alley from the description of what you like.
Oh yeah.
But what I was saying though about Fantastic Four, so finally on the John Byrne run, it's exciting again. I am enjoying
I
it.
told you the John Byrne run was going to be good when you got there.
Yes, so far so good. I am like
it's going to tick Dustin off. But I think he's also going to like it. If you can get over the fact that you're ticked off for a reason that's just to do with you and your personal preferences, and you actually look at the story, you're going to like John.
Well,
Byrne's
I haven't
run
gotten
on
to the
FF.
part where there's any team changes or anything yet, which I won't be a fan of that, I think, when it happens, because I know it's happening.
But it's so good. It's so well
I'm sure
done.
it'll be fine. I'm going to have to like remove myself from being like, and again, I don't know who they remove or what happens. But honestly, I'm just sick to death of FF4 breaks up. Then they get back together. Then they break up. And let's be honest, Sue and Reed Richards are the two worst parents in all of the world.
I can't argue that. They're not great.
I mean, they are terrible. There is not a single redeeming quality about their parenting. Not one.
Now, number 3 comes out next week, Mike.
Like they were having a mental breakdown whenever Agatha Harkness left. I'm like, well, duh, because she's been raising your 4-year-old for 12 years. What the F? Or I guess, honestly, more than that, because I'm in the 80s, mid 80s, early 80s, something like that. And it started, in the early 60s. So for 20-something years. Anywho's.
Well, if you had a 4-year-old for 20-something years, you'd be mad too.
Well, not if I've never raised him a single day in my life. He was born, got crazy powers. Here you go, Agatha.
Well, Reed Richards is not equipped to talk to human beings.
He's not equipped to do clearly anything. Be a husband, be a dad, save the world.
Best friend. He's been a pretty shitty friend.
He's tricky. Yeah.
Like, hey.
That's why Ben Grimm is the best guy on the team.
Honestly, he without like turning this into a Fantastic Four talk show, he has been the best character, bar none, as far as out of the 4. And then I would say Impossible Man, Watcher, Galactus, Silver Surfer, like those are the only ones that when they pop up, I'm like, oh, this is fun.
Dang, Doom doesn't even get the shout out.
Well, Doom is barely in the freaking book ever. Like, I was so excited. I'm going to get to read about Doom, and it's going to be great. I'm going to love it. I bet you he's not even been in 10 total issues, like out of 250. I, honest to God, believe that's the truth. It pisses me off.
You go get that Book of Doom omnibus, dude.
You clearly need to write Stan Lee a letter.
Really? I should write all of them. And I think Jim Shooter's now the EIC. I should write him a letter next time I see him.
Or you like, just talk to him next time you see him. I'm sure he's going to be at one of the shows we're going to.
Like, you were great on Spider-Man. Thank you for Secret Wars. F you, because Fantastic Four sucked. I have a lot of really harsh opinions on comic books now. And I feel like it's deserved at this point, right? Because I'm not just, commenting and throwing sorry, I'm trying not to cuss, throwing stuff out there as somebody who's never read a comic book or these original, like now I am a learned doctor. Okay. I am reading comic books, reading all the old stuff, reading a ton of the new stuff. By the way, I'm down to like my last 2 Marvel event, like big Marvel event to read. And then I'm out of Marvel events and I don't
at least for this month.
Huh?
At least for this month.
No, like I've read them all that are on Marvel Universe that are somewhat interesting. Not like the weird ones that aren't relevant, but like the big stories, the big events. I'm down to my last one. It's the Skrull Kree War, and what was the other one I started reading or need to read?
Did you read Secret Wars 2?
Yeah, I read them all. Secret Wars
2 was terrible.
I didn't read Civil War 2 because I don't.
That was honestly, also terrible.
Yep.
So my thing was like Civil War 2. Like I cannot stand the character of Captain Marvel, and like I've read a bunch of her early 2000s stuff when like she doesn't interest me. I guess I should say I can't stand it. She just doesn't interest me.
Have you read any of the 90s X-Men?
Not yet.
I would definitely, if you haven't read the X-Men in general, start early, read through until they hit the reprints. Start back at 94.
Yeah.
Read at least up through.
I'm going to read it all. I'm going to have to.
220, 230. But then you get into the run where Rick Leonardi was doing art.
Rick is the GOAT.
Mark Silvestri was doing art. Jim Lee was doing art. Fantastic. And that whole era was so good. You read Extinction Agenda, that was phenomenal stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be one of the X-Men's definitely gonna be the ones I do all the read-throughs on. I'm really loving the Hulk. Every time the Hulk shows up, I'm enjoying it. You know, I finished Planet Hulk, World War Hulk last month. Great books, by the way.
Have you
At
read
first
Immortal
I thought
Hulk?
they were dumb, but they were really good. What'd you say?
Have you read Immortal Hulk?
Up until like 27, 28, when it like the Harpy thing started coming in.
Yeah, that was one of those stupid things they did with Betsy Ross years ago, and I wish they hadn't done it.
Yeah.
And then I wish they hadn't brought that back in.
Yeah. Oh, and I want to make a statement publicly because
Was it that you're sorry that you told me Planet Hulk wasn't any good years ago, even though I told you it was way better than World War Hulk?
Oh, shots
Best
fired!
things out there, and
I need to
now
make
you
two
wanna have-
statements.
and now I get a text message in the middle of the night a couple weeks ago. I need your Planet Hulk omnibus so I can have a first edition. Yeah, well,
No, I did not say first edition. I just said I need the Planet Hulk omnibus, but it's okay. Josh got me hooked up. He's got me one ordered. I need to make two statements. I was wrong. I was wrong on Planet Hulk. It was not as dumb as I thought it was. But I actually went out and read everything encompassing Planet Hulk, the Illuminati, all of it, right? Illuminati was okay concept, just not well executed.
I'd agree with that.
Second statement is Donny Cates is a comic book genius when it comes to Marvel. Okay. I gave this man such a terrible time during King in Black and things like that. And now that I've become a learned doctor. And if you don't know the quote where that comes from, then you probably don't get the joke there. But now that I've really, really developed my understanding of comic books and reading more, and the more I read, the more I'm like, Donny Cates knows and actually cares so much about these characters. He's bringing stuff back from all over the place. Like it is, I enjoyed everything he's done with Marvel Comics pre King in Black. I didn't enjoy the Hulk stuff so much recently, but like King in Black, Venom, Cosmic Ghost Rider was very funny and interesting. Guardians of the Galaxy, that was pretty interesting until the new writer took over. What else did he do?
I didn't care for that.
What was it?
God Hand, or what was it?
God
I'm
Country.
talking just Marvel, God Country.
God Country.
Yes,
I didn't care for
I
that.
enjoyed God Country,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of the exact opposite on Nick when it comes to that. What Donny Cates is doing with Vanish blows everything that he's done with Marvel completely out of the water.
Well,
Vanish is really good.
And see, I was going to read Vanish whenever it came out on Substack, and I was like, nah, I really don't care that much. And then I saw I don't know what the heck happened to Substack, by the way, but it's just like imploded on itself. All these writers and all their Substack stuff, some people didn't deliver. People now are just throwing it out there with publishers, and it's like it never happened.
Yeah, because Scott Snyder's got Clear coming out now.
Yeah.
With
I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I don't care either way. I thought it was an interesting concept.
Who's
but
putting Clear out?
What else?
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse is putting Clear out.
Yep.
That started on Substack.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was a new book he had coming out. I didn't know that it was a quote unquote established book on Substack.
Those guys got a bunch of money, bunch of guarantees to come over there and try to bring subscribers. And I think it was Nick Spencer's the one that kind of led up the comic initiative. But, you know, if it's the same Nick Spencer I'm thinking, he sucks at writing comic books, so he probably sucks at that stuff too. I'm very opinionated now.
Sucks almost as much as impossible, man.
Almost as bad as Dan Slott is as a writer. Michael Bendis, phenomenal comic book writer. I hate to say that out loud, by the way. Early 2000 stuff, there's not much I've read of his.
Dude, his Ultimate Spider-Man was phenomenal.
And I read that before any of the main run. Amazing. And I really loved it.
Did you ever read Devil's Reign?
Nah.
You need to read that one. That was really good.
About that, you need to check out Devil's Reign and the miniseries Spider-Man Renew Your Vows.
Yeah, so I'm saving Renew Your Vows because that's like my last hope of anything good for Peter Parker and Mary Jane.
Okay, you've been saving that for like 2 years now.
No, because I just finished Spider-Man last year, so it's been like 6 months. I'm reading Spider-Man Blue, but I've only read I say I'm reading it. I've read one issue and it's so good that I stopped and I'm like, hold on, I gotta wait. I gotta like, it's so good.
Well, it's a very, very small, limited series, so just read it already.
No. It's like that perfect dessert that you're like, let me just take small bites and enjoy.
It's only like what 6 issues?
5 or 6, I think.
Spider-Man: The Lost Hunt.
That was garbage.
That was really good too.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not a fan of any of his stuff. Like Kraven's Last Hunt was okay, and then every time he's come back and like redone it or a different scenario within the same realm of things, it just gets worse to me. It's like we're beating a dead horse.
Now here's my argument on it. Every time you'll sit there and you'll say, I need a good, solid Mary Jane Peter Parker story. And I've literally told you 2, and you're like, oh, they suck. And you hadn't even picked
Which 2? Which 2?
The Lost Hunt and Renew Your Vows. Both.
No, I didn't say Renew Your Vows sucked. I said that's my last hope for a good story, and I'm saving it. It's like that blast by the steak, man. You just gotta wait. Wait for the right moment.
Okay. What about you, Dustin? What are you reading now? Anything?
Not poop.
I'm still chipping away at Walking Dead is about it whenever I get a chance. So I keep my Walking Dead omnibus, whichever. I think I'm on volume, I don't even know, volume 3 now. I think I'm on volume 3, but I keep it in the truck, and if I get a chance to take lunch, I'll just sit in the truck and try to read a issue or 2, and that's about it, though. I stay, especially with this new job. I mean, I'm getting home earliest is most of the time, like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's not leaving me a terrible amount of time to do a whole lot of reading. But yeah, Walking Dead's about the extent of it for me. So, but it's still easily probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite things that I've read yet.
I think that's definitely something I probably want to hop on. I do want to hop on the Turtles just so I can make fun of the furry fanfic that they got going on now and be able to like actually make fun of it with knowledge. You know what I mean? I don't want to have too many opinions on it without knowing more than
I've read.
You have the strangest rationale for doing things.
Right?
Why?
I don't want to read things so that I'll enjoy them. I want to read things so that I can give other people a hard time. Like, what is that?
I mean, look, I want to be able to have well-informed opinions.
Well, you've got the Marvel Unlimited app because you're the reason why I have the damn thing.
It's the best $11 a month.
Start Daredevil from the very beginning, and you'll understand why Stiltman is the greatest villain of all time.
Watch him actually be good when I start reading it. That would be really depressing.
Honestly, the character is so simple that it's stupid, and that's why you'll love him.
Well, it's like the same thing with Impossible, man. I mean, he shows up in one issue and doesn't come back for another however many, and then he's great. He gets spanked. Look at that face. Not enjoying it. I forgot I even had that. What else was I going to say? But yeah, I mean, I'm going to read Daredevil, but I'm trying to decide after Fantastic Four, which I'm starting to get into the modern stuff, so it's going to go super quick from now on. And honestly, like Burns' writing is very easy to read and absorb, and it's a nice change. I can definitely start to see that tone shift that we get into the 80s in most books like that. And if you guys don't want to talk about, some people like it's that weird mid shift from the 80s to the 90s, really kind of bringing it to that modern age, I think. But yeah, so it's reading really easily. But I haven't decided if I want to go Hulk, because I really love when Hulk pops up and stuff. But I don't know if I love him enough to where he's going to be able to entertain me for an entire 600-700 issues. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Well, he undergoes. If you like Hulk and you're concerned on that front, they wheel out a different version of Hulk whenever they can't figure out what to write anymore.
Yep, that's it right there.
But yeah, they. So I don't know what to do with Hulk right now. Okay, well, this other aspect of his personality is going to come out. He's going to morph into a different Hulk. Okay, now I don't know what to do with that. Well, this other aspect of his personality is going to come out. So they keep morphing him. And when you get to the Peter David run on Hulk, it's such a totally different animal. But it's really good. Because you got there for a long stretch, you got Peter David writing it. You got Dale Keown on art, which is fan-freaking-tastic. You get Gary Frank on the art, which is fan-freaking-tastic. There's just a lot of good stuff going on there.
See,
Yeah,
the
I mean-
best thing about Keon doing Hulk was how much Hulk started looking like Pitt.
No, it's the other way around because Pitt came after Hulk, dude.
No,
He
no,
worked on Pitt after Hulk.
I don't care.
You
Hulk
should care
looked
because
like
you're
Pitt.
bass backwards. You're wrong.
Hulk looks like Pitt. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Beat the shit out of each other. Sorry, fight each other.
That'd be like
love
saying I
it.
look like Nick.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
doesn't look. I mean, he's about a goober. You see him?
I mean, if anything, he would be the one that looked like me because I
Because
was
you
first.
came first. Yes.
Nah. You know what's funny is I still get all the time at cons. Man, I can't believe you're the younger brother.
Yeah.
But see, I'm not a big Hulk fan to begin with, and I loved Pitt. So I thought Pitt was just great.
Hulk is definitely hit or miss for me. Hulk has stories where he's just awesome, and then there's stories where I'm like, what is this mess? And a lot of folks have that's funny. A lot of folks have got a good Hulk story in them, but very few people have a really good long run in them. When they came back and did Return of the Monster several years ago, where they brought Hulk back as kind of more of a horror book, that was excellent. And then they've got more or less that same title for a Hulk book coming up for the next iteration of Hulk. But we're talking comics, and we can do that all night, as Alan and I have proven on many occasions. But one of the things we promised folks is we were going to talk about, the Bruce Jones run on Hulk, Return of the Monster, was excellent. Absolutely excellent. Couldn't agree more.
My favorite's Bob Banner. What? You guys know who I'm talking about? Old Bob Banner.
I know you probably also like. Why do you do that to people?
I love
Lord
it.
have
You can
mercy.
find Impossible Man doing anything. Find Stilt Man giving a smoochies to Punisher.
I don't want to see Stiltman giving the smoochies to Punisher.
He's just giving him some romance, as Bluey says.
No, okay. But you know what? No one has ever said thank God for Impossible Man, but they have said thank God for Stiltman.
That's true. That's a true statement. You are not right, Nick Ellis.
Oh God.
Well, one of the
I
things
think
we
this is the most
promised was
fun
we were going
Alan's
to
ever
talk to
had.
folks about the expo, which is coming up in 8 days?
Yes.
Yep.
It is right around the freaking corner. So for anybody who's not local, the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo is the biggest geek-focused event in the state of Alabama, which it's only in its 8th, 9th year. I think this is its 8th year. It started in 2015. So
Nice.
that's pretty impressive for it to have that rapidly grown into this event. And this year, the guest list is pretty strong. On the non-comic side, we'll start there. We've got a 93-year-old guy who's been to space recently. We got William Shatner coming. And if that's something that means something to you,
Hey, Michael Myers.
I would get out and go see him because the man's 93 years old.
Is he really that old? Wow.
He is 93 years old.
Yep.
If
He's been
you want to
around-
ask him questions about Heather Locklear, this is your last chance.
I want
Potentially.
to go give me her phone number.
It won't hurt to ask.
I should get him to sign my Michael Myers mask. I mean, that's pretty much where my fandom starts and stops with him. So
No, dude,
Dude,
I'm
that
gonna
would be awesome. You should absolutely do it.
get some Picard ears and walk up and see if he'll sign them. Not Picard. Damn it. What are they? The
Spock?
Spock.
Yeah,
Hard
Picard ears. What's up with the W? What was up with that?
That,
Don't
oh,
worry about it.
Live Long and Prosper is this one.
Yeah, it's not
that one.
W. It's
That's a gang
Lizard.
sign, I think.
lizard poison Spock.
That's it. That's it. Oh, it's so funny.
At least I'd ask him to sign my lightsaber.
That would be funny too, and he'd probably do it. But anyway, he's coming. Brent Spiner is coming. So Commander Data, Gates McFadden is coming. Dr. Crusher, and then John Delancey is coming, who played Q. So some of those guys started in Next Generation, and some of them are still playing those same characters today in Picard. So there's a great group of guys coming on that front. But on the comic front, what's really interesting, and I'm skipping all the voice actors and the wrestlers and all that stuff because there's a whole bunch of them, and it's just too many to name. The voices for Mickey Mouse and Goofy are going to be there.
And all of Naruto.
Ryan Hurst
The current voices
just got announced.
Yep.
Who?
Ryan Hurst from Sons of Anarchy and Walking Dead. I might bring one of my. I got some Sons of Anarchy comics that have Opie on it. Maybe I'll bring one of those. That'd
be pretty cool. But on the comics front, we've got Tom DeFalco coming. We've got Ron Frenz coming, one of the best Spider-Man artists of all time.
Was he on Clone Saga too?
Ron Frenz?
Yeah, I don't think so. He was earlier than that, wasn't he?
No, he was before that.
That's what I thought.
After he did Spider-Man, he did Thor. He did the Thunderstrike stuff. He did Spider-Girl, which if you haven't read Spider-Girl, you should.
Yeah, that's the Jessica Drew one, right?
No, it's Mayday Parker.
Oh, that one. Yes, Logan has told me, and apparently that's like one of the longest running ones, right? It's over 100 issues.
It's really weird because Marvel kept trying to cancel it because their subscriber numbers weren't what they wanted, but the subscribers they had were absolutely rabid, and they were like, "No way are you canceling this book."
It's because Nick Lowe's a bee and wants to cancel anything good.
So no. If you like Peter Parker and Mary Jane being together, read Spider-Girl, and it's excellent.
Logan has told me. Patrick Dolph has told me several times I should read it, and I should.
You should, but that's Tom DeFalco and Ron Frenz did that together. We've got, like I say, Ron Frenz has done everything. When he went to DC briefly during the return of Superman after Superman died, and he had the Blue Electric Superman was the book he was on. Looking good, doing some good stuff. But no, Ron Frenz is an amazing artist. He's going to be here. Roy Thomas is going to be here. They just announced Sam De La Rosa is coming back. So if you want your Venom stuff done, Sam De La Rosa is going to be here. Nathan Zerdy is going to be here, who's one of the hotter comic artists that's doing comics right now. You know how we kind of cycle through these guys? Like, okay, Art Germ's the coolest thing in the world. Peach Momoko. Peach Momoko is the coolest thing in the world. Right now, Nathan Zerdy is the coolest thing in the world.
I guess. How do you spell his last name?
Szerdy.
He is very good.
I have not heard of him yet. Oh, he does the booby books.
Yes, Sam De La Rosa is coming back.
Yep.
That was just announced the other day.
Sam D.
So he was there, 2 years ago?
He was there last year.
It was 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah.
Because I got into when Bagley came 1 year, I had him sign my Lethal Protector #1.
Yep.
And then when Del Rosa came, I had him sign it also, and he remarked it. And I was going to get it graded, but CBCS was like, "Well, we really didn't witness it, and we can't verify remarks." And I'm like, "Okay, look, I'm not even going to do it then."
Yep.
She'd been like, "He's right there. You want to just go ask the man?"
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of what kind of delay you're on, but that's hilarious.
So it's like a 30-second delay, but yeah, I'm looking at Nathan Zerdy's work, and he does the booby books.
He does a fair number of those, yeah.
He's done a couple.
That's not all he does, though. He's a very good artist.
It's immediately what popped up whenever I searched his name, and I'm scrolling through his Facebook, and I mean he's really good. He's got some on here of who is this? I don't know the name of the character. I want to say it's a Street Fighter character, but yeah, he does some really good stuff. No.
He's been doing a bunch of covers at DC, and he is moving over to Marvel now.
Good for him. Stepping up to the big leagues, going to Marvel.
That actually reminds me to jump back to comics real quick. There's some DC books. We talked about Batman. We talked about Batman, Joker, Deadly Duo, which is phenomenal. We did not talk about Nightwing. Nightwing is probably the best book DC is putting out right now. It's fan-freaking-tastic. And Tom Taylor is writing the upcoming, that's about to come out, Titan series, which also looks awesome.
So go ahead and sign Nick up for the Titans series.
Should.
Do it.
Not Tom Taylor.
Do it.
He's kind of fallen
Tom
off.
Taylor is the way he's introduced the Titans in Nightwing and the way
has been great.
Them, yeah, this Titan series is going to be really good.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Do you know if there is a issue of Skull and Bones 1 and 2 still at the shop somewhere?
I don't know for sure, but I think so.
All right, I will root around tomorrow evening when I go up there. And
I am enjoying World's Finest. I have to say, the cover the other day with Nightwing and Batgirl, both Check Please. That was a really good cover. I enjoyed that one. But that's been a fun book. Mark Waid's been doing a good job on that. But anyway, so the expo, we've got some cool guests coming.
World's Finest.
We've got some awesome vendors are going to be there. So there's going to be comics. There's going to be everything else you can imagine. What are you guys looking forward to at the expo? Why are you coming?
My red bearded buddy at Spinner Rack.
You need to get you some Steve Hinton comics, huh?
Yeah, always love going and getting to spend a lot of time at the Hinton booth. Always spend a lot of time at the Spinner Rack.
Well, you got to spend a lot of time at the Hinton booth because that thing is an island with like 40,000 comics.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a minute. Hang on now.
What's up, Warlord?
From Canada. Well, hello, Warlord. We're big fans of our friends up in Canada. Speaking of Dead Romans, guys, did y'all listen to us at all? Did you pick up Dead Romans #1, Nick?
It wasn't in my pull box, Alan, slacking. He
Don't
said
worry.
it live.
We'll get you covered. But Dead Romans is awesome.
What about No One? Did you get a copy of No One?
Did you put it in my box?
It will be in your box tomorrow night.
I'll be there. We'll probably swing by. Well, I guess sometime the expo weekend, probably.
What's happening, Matt Posey? Good to see you.
So
you'll find Matt Posey working inside the island at the Spinner Rack, which is Steve Hinton's booth. But yeah, if there's comics you're looking for, Steve Hinton has got a metric crap ton of comics. And then you look at all those wall books he brings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get jealous of a whole lot of dudes in their comics, but I got to tell you, I'm pretty jealous of Steve Hinton. I got to admit.
So Dustin Vick called me one day and he was like, "Hey, I'm going to Steve Hinton's house and to go dig through some comics. He's getting ready to go to a con. Do you want to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I'd never been to Steve Hinton's house before. We literally get there, we walk in the front door, and there was so many comics that he was getting ready to take to this con. They were everywhere, and it was such a beautiful sight. I really wanted to just sit down and cry. I had never seen anything like that before, even at a comic book store. It was like, my God.
Yeah, Ryan, Haven is set up. We're actually looking at the layout. We've got an end cap right across the aisle from Spinner Rack. So we are all set up. We're going to be there, and it's going to be awesome.
You know what I'm looking forward to the most, I think?
What's that?
Jeremy's mother's booth.
Dude, you're not wrong. What does she call that? Nana's Sweet Treats or something?
I don't know. It's get in my belly.
Those cookies.
I don't know.
Those little bits of chess cake.
Yeah, it's the pound
muffins.
cake kind of thing she does. That's great.
That pound cake.
Holy smokes, it's all good.
Those donuts at Lexington are going to be hard to top, though. That was crazy. Like, they literally fry them right in front of you and then just throw them in a bag and pour
powdered sugar
on them, and it just melts. And they hand you this scalding hot bag of these little donut balls, or they're little miniature donuts covered in
And I'm just trying to get as many hot balls in my mouth as I can at one time because they're that good. They're just
like you do, Dustin. When you and Nick do your drive around early in the morning, you got to drive over by Bigfoot's Little Donuts.
Yeah,
on South Parkway. It's the same thing. These little donuts come floating down in the fryer. They hit this little deal. They get flipped over. They float down the fryer a little more. They drop off into this little tray. They pull that stuff out. And let me tell you, and I'm not joking, they're Fruity Pebbles donuts.
Mike, if he does it again, I'm blowing that PG-13 rating the hell out of the water tonight.
I'll be right back.
Yeah,
they've got blueberry donuts. They've
blueberry.
got, if I remember right, Kaylisa can correct me if I'm wrong. They've got ones that have like cinnamon toast crunch. Like, oh man.
But you know what? I haven't
had
since last year at Huntsville. Excellent. I think is the dang kolache.
The kolaches.
The kolaches. Yeah, I gotta hit up a kolaches joint out there while I'm out too.
Well, let me put in a little. Let me think. Let me put in a little unpaid advertisement for somebody you need to go see. You need to go see a company called the Bakingtist, like scientist and baking mixed together. The Bakingtist. It's in downtown Huntsville, not far away from the expo at all. They got different kinds of kolaches with Conecuh sausage and stuff like that. But they also have one, and now let me tell you this. They also have one that has sausage and gravy in it. Like how you get gravy inside that pastry, I don't know. It's some kind of magic, but they got that. Oh, man.
That sounds pretty good.
Oh, man. It's this sausage and gravy inside the pastry, so it's like a preloaded biscuit, and it's the best thing. It is fantastic.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
You can't go wrong, man. I'm telling you.
So, is there any particular books that you're looking for this year, Dustin?
Man,
show off that one you just sent me a picture of.
Do I now?
So people can see what you just got.
Oh, it's right here.
Well, yeah, let's do it, y'all. He got himself a book, and what's funny about this is I sold this book in the exact same grade about a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Yep. So anybody watching here, see, you're getting a treat tonight because I haven't even recorded the video to post on our channel showing this off, but I picked up my first Golden Age book. Anybody who watches the channel, you know that I like pirate stuff and I like Batman. Don't have a whole lot of Batman because all the Batman I want's always been out of my price range. Well, it's getting closer to the price range, and I was able to get my first Golden Age book. You got pirates, pirate ship, everything that that I could want in a comic book, all wrapped up here. In 1947, someone was thinking, you know what? There's going to be some dude in his mid-30s in about 100 years that's going to just die over this book. So super excited to pick that
Hercules, up. Hercules. I see you, Matt Posey. I know what you're saying.
But it's crazy because at Lexington, I was just browsing through some there was a bunch of Golden Age Batman at Lexington, and I was checking prices on some of the ones I was interested in. I just happened to notice this cover. I'd never seen it before. Lo and behold, like 20 minutes later, while we were sitting at lunch, I'm scrolling through Instagram, and somebody had just posted that one on Elite Comics, and I was like, no way. So I ended up being able to make a deal with the guy, and finally just got it in today. So but as far as like stuff I'm actively looking for right now, man, it's hard to say. I don't know. I go back and forth on whether I want to take advantage of current prices or try to wait it out a little longer, see if I can get it for a better deal. But then, you know, I don't have a whole lot of patience either. So, you know, I guess it just depends. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I'd like to have. It's just a matter of, can I find it in my price range? And then can I convince myself to cough up the money for it? So I do know that there's a vendor that's going to be there that I know through sales on Elite Comics and Instagram and stuff. He's going to have a 1.0 FF5. And I've already discussed the price with him. And I considered trying to
sell a kidney,
make some kind of payment arrangement with him for it. But I don't know. I'm because I talked to a friend of mine about it, and he was like, you know, if that's the book you want to keep, he's like, just keep in mind, like, how happy are you going to be for how long with a 1.0?
Forever and ever. Amen.
He's like, you
for sure.
You just keep rolling stuff up and keep putting it away. And, you know, this time next year, maybe you can grab a 4.0. And I'm like, that'd be pretty damn cool.
Is that Jeff or Britt?
There's also
no,
this,
Steven.
If you got a 1.0, then you got the book.
Yeah.
And you can always trade up for a better grade.
Yeah, and that was also my thought. So I'm gonna definitely take a look at it when I get there, because like that's the other thing. Like it just I don't mind having a 1.0 at all. Like I'm not too good for a 1.0, especially in that damn book.
Well, that's everything you want, man. That's Fantastic Four's first appearance of Doctor Doom.
Right.
It's Ben Grimm as a pirate,
as
Blackbeard.
Pirate,
he starts.
Yes.
That's hysterical.
I have a print of the original artwork of Ben Grimm, that whole page with those panels in it, hanging in my pressing room. I love it. But
when I got my Fantastic Four #5. The guy that I got it from sent me a reprint of the book with it so I could read it.
That's awesome.
And it was fantastic. I was like, all right, this is cool. What in the heck is this? It's hysterical.
Yeah. And the other hang up I'm having with it too is while it's hard, that's one of those books to me, especially when you start getting into lower grades, that the price, you know, like when you start looking at like GPA and stuff like that, that kind of goes to the wayside a little bit when you start getting into a book like that, especially in those lower grades, because I think since I started looking at wanting an FF1 or an FF5, I think this is the first time I've seen for sale Fantastic Four #5 in under a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just don't see that book in that grade, which is an affordable price range, often enough to really go by GPA. But you know, right now GPA on a 1.0 is 4,400. Well, GPA on a 2.0 is 4,800. So it's like, man, do I want to get a 1.0, or do I want to hope maybe I can stick it out for a little while longer and maybe score a 2.0 or a 2.5 for just a smidge more? Like, I don't know. So it's just going to depend on what I think a lot of it's going to depend on the presentability of the book when I get it in hand and look at it, and what kind of tinglies it gives me. But that's definitely, knowing that's going to be there is something that has definitely piqued my interest.
Well, I'm going to have unless I sell them in the next 8 days, I'm going to have a Fantastic Four #48, 49, 50, and 53. No, I already sold 53.
I saw those.
I'll have that 48, 49, and 50 there. It's pretty awesome.
Look, he got so excited he had to jump off screen.
He's a goober.
You can't blame him.
Sorry, I was telling my kid good night.
Good for you.
But yeah, I'm excited to see that book because I know it's going to be there. I'm not going to have the cash to grab it. Like if it's something that I want to go after, then, I'm sure that Loco would work with me on something on that. But, otherwise, I mean, I've literally for a year solid been hunting particular Batman books in particular condition. Like I've been very particular about the Batman stuff I want to pick up because, you know, there's just certain books that I want, and when
like
I can
that
pick
Batman,
up,
what is it, number 25 with him and on the motorcycle through the Ring of Fire.
yes, I would love.
I'm
to
so
have
mad
it.
at Steve Hinton. He sold that book out from under me.
Oh,
I
I didn't
wanted
know he
that
had
book.
one.
I wanted that book, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I just sold it to that guy." And I'm like,
I'll
"Man."
do you one better. There was a copy on eBay about 2 months ago that the guy was asking $1,100 and something for it. And I messaged him and I was like, hey, here's my phone number. Shoot me a text, guy. And because I'll do that. I'll hit eBay guys up and be like, hey, shoot me a text. Let's talk about this. And I hit him up and I was like, hey, like if you'll take $1,000 for it, I'll PayPal you friends and family $1,000 for the book. You get the full 1,000. You don't have to worry about eBay fees. I don't have to pay taxes, and you know I get the book I want, and we both happy.
And he only gets kicked off of eBay, maybe.
They're not gonna find out. They're not gonna find out. That's how I got that
People
Mortal
pull stuff
Kombat
down
book
from
that I
eBay
got
all the
in
time.
today. Yeah, I do it all the time. I'll even do it with buyers. Like if I'm selling something and they message me and ask me how much I want, I'm like, here's my phone number, or hit me on Instagram, and you know, I'll give them a better deal there. But I guess it spooked the guy because he didn't answer me back. Literally the next day, best offer was accepted on the book. So I go to the website that tells you what the sold price was. He sold it for $1,000 through eBay. I was like, God,
what a maroon.
I'm like, whatever, man. Come on. I'm like, dude, like, I've got references. Like, you can check us out, man. You can see this is who I am. Like, I'm not gonna screw you over.
I would vouch for you, dude.
Yeah,
he probably saw we hated She-Hulk.
Because I'm like, look, like I'm not someone who can just like in the comic realm just, you know, screw somebody over and then hide from it and nobody ever find out. Like,
yeah, I mean, you're
it's
the
not
only
gonna happen.
bald midget besides
But-
Alan running around grabbing books for people.
But as far as like the
Look.
Batman stuff I'm looking for, like, you know, especially Silver Age stuff, there's a lot of Batman in the Silver Age that if I can get a 9.0 or better quality copy of a Silver Age book from the 60s for under $1,000, like that's something I've been really jumping on a little bit at a time, and I've been able to pick up a couple, and so it's made the hunt a lot harder. Which I love because it gives me something to continuously strive after. Yeah, okay, mister, you got more fans than we do, as you bragged about to me today. But I mean, it gives me something to strive after because I so often, you know, go off on these little things that I want to start. I'll start collecting, and then I just grab all of it in like a month or two, and then it's like, oh well, okay, I got it all. But yeah, I'm sure I'll find something. I mean, I always have a good time at Huntsville and find something there. Every year I found something.
I don't think we've got any 9.0 or better candidates in our Silver Age Batman books, but we've got some really interesting Silver Age Batman books on the wall at the shop. I mean, we've got some weird Batman books from the Silver Age. I mean, we're talking the one where Batman becomes a merman and he can only breathe water.
I want the Rainbow Batman.
I don't remember if we have that one right now or not, but we have had it recently. We had the one where he was in the kilt. We had Scottish Batman.
What is his name? The Rainbow Batman. Starts with a Z.
You got me.
I can't remember.
Because he was an alternate personality.
Yeah. And then like I've been really getting into the Silver Age and even to the Golden Age, the later Golden Age. World's Finest. Man, it's got so many really great covers there. There's one where Superman has Batman over his head and he's like about to throw him, and you know, I've yet to find one of those in the wild. There's a couple copies on eBay, but you know, I like to find this stuff in the wild.
Oh yeah,
so.
the way you're supposed to. Brian Silverback's in the house.
Hey,
What's up,
speaking
Brian
of people who
Silverback?
are going to be hanging out at Huntsville,
Yep, he's going to be there. Go by his booth and get him to draw you something, man.
Yeah,
get him
something.
to sign one of your covers because the dude is an artiste.
Y'all need to get him to do one thing. Like if y'all show up, just ask him for one thing. Let me get serious. Spider-Man going Super Saiyan.
No.
Just that's it.
If I go to Brian's booth, I'm like, dude, I'm about to drop some money. I need you to draw me one thing.
Spider-Man going Super Saiyan.
It is going to be Stilt Man putting a stilt in Impossible Man's ass. And then I'm sending it to your house.
Oh my God. Well, now you got to.
Well, Brian, sounds like you're going to get some weird commissions next weekend. That's going to be one weird Batman or a Daredevil cover you're going to draw on. Loggerhead versus Spider-Man, that's a natural fit. I could see that happening.
Yep.
It's actually, dude, freaking sell it. Not sell it. Don't sell shit to Marvel because F them. But that would be a cool, like, Marvel team up type book feel. You know what I mean? Kind of like what they did with Invincible. That'd be neat.
For people that have been jumping on late, we do have a giveaway tonight. It is a retailer incentive of a Mad Cave book that is getting ready to come out.
That is an interesting mailer for a book.
The book's not in there.
Yeah, the book's not in here.
Okay.
I know what's in here. And I mean, it's some cool little stuff in here. It's just a retailer incentive that they sent out. I did look at it earlier, but the trick is I'm not telling anybody else what's in here. The only way they can find out what's in it is if they win it. All you had to do was make a comment. I put you in the spinny wheel of death. So we'll be doing the drawing later on. And if you're present, you win.
Easy enough. Now, so we're looking forward to some comics. Are there any guests in particular you're looking forward to seeing, Dustin? Besides Brian Silverbacks?
Honestly, I usually spend more time talking to Brian than I do any of the guests there. So, and he lives like 15, 20 minutes away. But anytime I see Brian, we end up sitting there talking for like a half hour minimum.
Why don't you just wait till the end of the show and then go have nachos with him? Because Brian is a nacho eating man.
Yeah, I know.
And y'all just go and grab some nachos, man. Hit up Taco Mama, get like their 4-pound nachos.
I hear people talk about Taco Mama every time we're there. It seems like that's where everybody goes.
It's okay. It's not great. Last time I went, everything was cold and I got sick afterwards, and that was a year ago, and I haven't been back since. It's like we used to enjoy it, but after that moment,
honestly, I mean, I do like it, but I'd rather go to Los Trojos.
Dustin, no, we've been to Taco Mama. That was a taco place over there by the seafood place we went last year.
Oh, okay.
Remember, because we went and ate Mexican food or burritos there, and then we went next door and had some beer.
I got you. As far as guests, though, I don't know, man. I got really, really excited about Steranko at Heroes last year. Hell, I'm excited about Steranko at Heroes this year, but I mean, for the most part, I don't ever even really look at the guest list at Comic-Cons because I'm just like, man, I don't want to spend my comic book money in the guest lines. Like, I want to go buy comic books with it.
See, and that's how I am. There's one guest that I'm probably going to go and get him to sign an Avengers book, and that's Tom DeFalco.
I'm gonna get him to sign.
If you guys aren't going and seeing Ron Friends and getting a signed book or a sketch from Ron Friends, y'all are out of your minds. That dude is a phenomenal artist.
He really is, but I've got this thing for buying G.I. Joe and Daredevil comics, and if I do that, I take away from G.I. Joe and Daredevil. I mean,
I'm trying to think
G.I.
of
Joe and Daredevil on hold. How many chances are you going to get to meet Ron Friends and get something from him? This would be the first chance you've ever had in your life.
I can't even place who that is, honestly.
Amazing Spider-Man 252, the cover with him in the black suit, the first one. That's the kind of homage.
Yeah, it's like a overhyped, mediocre book at best.
Well, the book maybe, but he did that. He was the artist on ASM during that time period.
Okay, well then that's probably why I'm not familiar.
In whose favor, mine or Josh's? 'Cause we
Mine.
both know I'm right.
You know, James is going to agree with me.
I mean,
James
if
he's a smart dude.
I would go stand in line to see Chip Zdarsky. I didn't even go stand in line to see Eastman. I mean, like I had 2 opportunities, you know, but like I would go stand in line for Zdarsky. David Finch. I would love if Jeremy got David Finch at the show one year.
Well, now's the perfect opportunity to ask him. We
There
got
he
Jeremy
is.
Long.
What's going on, man?
Hey,
Got
been
self.
doing dad stuff all night, so I didn't dress up for you guys. I'm sorry.
Same here.
I heard you say David Finch. I actually tried to get him last year, both Finches, but their agency sucks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I met him at Memphis Comic Expo in 19. Super nice dude.
Yeah,
but
that's what I've always heard.
Yeah, his agency is garbage. I mean, they had a really good list too, and it was one of those things where it's tricky for me to book guests for a relatively first quarter show in a year, because so many people, you know, when I send out emails in July or August, all they see is next year. They don't see, you know, 7 months from now,
right?
Or, you know, 8 months from now. And a lot of them, they're like, well, get back to us in October, after we, you know, aren't busy. And I'm like, well, I'm done by then.
Right.
You know, and they're like, get back to us after New York Comic Con. I'm like, dude, come November, I'm, you know, done for the most part. But, yeah.
I'll talk about another booth, probably one of the most impressive booths consistently at Heroes. That guy.
Yeah, Jeremy knows how to set up a comic book booth.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I didn't do it last year because I was broken, and I may not do it this year because you know, Thursday's gonna be crazy busy for me. Yeah, this time next week I will be probably running on about 3 hours of sleep, and with another 8 hours to go to my day, and then starting the next one 4 hours later. So,
and we'll be loading in probably during this window still, or we'll probably be done by this point, but we'll be loading in next Thursday. Yeah.
No, I hope to be. Well, I mean, I'll be doing. You know, we got guests coming in all the way till like almost midnight on Thursday. There's one flight. Anybody's watching, if you want to go meet a bunch of guests before the expo, there's one flight at like 10:40 that like 15 guests are coming on.
You got a 15 passenger van for these people, or did you rent a bus?
No, I got multiple people going.
Hey, if you need help, I'll be more than happy to pick Anna J up from the airport for you. Just saying.
She comes in.
Do not let this bald man pick that lady up.
Just throwing it out there. I'm here.
She will get back on the airplane and go home.
This is only because I love you, Jeremy.
Alan comes screeching in a Ford Pinto. The hubcap goes flying off. Your chariot, madam.
I just picture like some weird Michael Scott stuff going on. He's got
blacked
some
out windows.
Like the back of a Volkswagen.
Yeah, she gets in late on Friday. That's the other thing too. All these guests that are here Saturday, Sunday only, you know, they're coming in during the show on Friday. So that's tricky. So
do you even get a chance to enjoy these things?
So
I have witnessed the man. I don't think he does. I think 5 weeks later he goes, well, that sure did happen.
That's why he keeps redoing it. It's that shock resistance in the human body. Like
it's like when you have a baby, right? They're like, you know, you're willing to have another one because your body forgot, like forcibly shielded the memory from the last one.
So I always explain it like this, especially to married people, because you understand because you're married. Putting on this expo is like getting married. You spend a year or more planning it, guest list, caterers, all this stuff, you know, and then the 30 days leading up to it, you're really fine tuning everything. And then it comes, everybody gets to enjoy it except for you. And you don't get to eat because you're being pulled in 1,000 directions. And then afterwards, you hear about how great it was.
Yep. that is absolutely the description.
And that's why the video is so important.
That's right.
Because that's the only way he gets to experience the show.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is, the last 3 years, we have streamed our panels and then, saved them to the Facebook page. I've never even watched them.
Yeah.
Like, there's some good panels on there that I need to go back and watch some panels. But
the wrestling panel last year, I had to abandon Nick for a while because I sat and enjoyed the crap out of that. That was
Kane and
Steamboat and Teddy.
I wanted to say Diddy, but that's wrong.
Yeah. Once it finally happened, once they showed up.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That reminds me, Mick Foley. That I just saw Mick Foley, met Mick Foley like 6 months ago, and I'm totally stoked to do it once again. I mean, he's definitely somebody. So I'll definitely go see Mick and Ryan Hurst for sure.
Yeah. Oh, so that Ryan Hurst was out of nowhere.
I saw
so
that.
Sunday, I'm just enjoying Easter over at the in-laws. I get a message from Ming Chen. Says, "Hey, is it cool if I give Ryan Hurst your information?" Yes.
Let me think.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
And then roughly 3 minutes later, I get a text that says, "Jeremy, Ryan Hurst here." Except what's funny is it says, "Jeremy, Ryan Hurst here," but he put his name in all caps, like, "It's me."
Well, he's a big dude.
It's me, Ryan.
Said,
I've already called dibs, Matthew. No.
Ryan Hurst here. He said, "Do you have room at your show for me this year? Can you squeeze me in?" I wrote back, "Dude, I'll make room for you."
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
That was the whole contract process right there. Over a few times.
I'd like to see him and Josh standing side by side.
Booth.
Yeah.
Just stash him at our booth. We'd be okay with it.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, we had Mark Paul Gosselaar drop 2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
And so
my sister is bitterly disappointed, by the way.
Oh, trust me, I've heard a lot of it.
I have
She's
hunted
like, that's
since
the
that announcement for a
see.
Saved by the Bell #1 for like a nice copy. I was game for that.
Well, I'll show you. I'm at my. Where's my? Well. Oh yeah, here we go. I mean, I had.
Yep.
Dang. Yeah.
I was ready, dude.
I mean, I got my Clerks books back here, so those are still fine. Then I've got, a Zach Morris pop over there. Because, I mean, I try to get as much stuff as I can. I've got the laptop, so we can just turn around. So
my sister says she's still coming, but it's just to see Dean Cain now.
Yeah. I mean, that's my bookshelf full of pops. All those pops are signed by people who have been to the expo.
That's cool.
And they're double stacked 3 deep. So, once I get a bigger office, I'll put them everywhere. But yeah, so we had the space available. And I mean, I had a ton of agents, messaging and calling me like, "Hey, you want to replace them with, this person?" I'm like, no, I don't. There was Eli cameo.
Nope.
All right, bye. I'll get to it later.
Speaking of Stilt Man.
Yeah, that's fair. He's almost 6 feet tall.
That dude is like, woo!
He is shot up, and he's this skinny. So, but yeah, so I had the spot, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'll make it work." So, a lot of people have enjoyed that. And did you guys see the video that he sent us?
Mm-hmm.
Probably my favorite promo video that anybody has sent. I mean, we've gotten a lot of good ones, but he's just a goofy guy. So I'm looking forward to him being here.
So we are officially 1 week away from load in. Where are you at in the process? I mean, is it the calm before the storm, or are you already hair on fire running around?
So maybe this is because it's year 8. Maybe I finally figured out how to do these things. I don't know. But I had a volunteer meeting 2 nights ago walk through at the BBC, and I was telling the volunteers, I said, we're 10 days away. I should be stressed, but I am so chill. And because I should be stressed and I'm not, that stresses me out.
That's got me worried. Yeah.
I'm anxious because I'm not stressed. I don't know.
Well, after the last few years with COVID, this is no problem.
I know. I mean, you would think the amount of people we have coming, this is the most guests we've had. And I mean, by far the biggest firepower. Yeah, exactly. I'm
excited to meet Ashley Eckstein. I mean, you've got so many different folks, but Ashley Eckstein, man, that's awesome. She's incredible.
She's super, super nice. And
is she bringing her baseball player with her?
Yeah. Well, did you see the Trash Pandas announcements today? They're throwing out the first pitch next Thursday.
I did. I was giving you I was setting you up. I was teeing you up so you could hit that ball out the park.
Yeah. So her husband, David Eckstein, he won a World Series with the Angels, which the Trash Pandas are the affiliates of. And so both of them, plus Brett Iwan, Mickey Mouse, are throwing out first pitches next Thursday night.
And more importantly, he won a World Series with the St. Louis Cardinals and was the MVP.
He was the MVP with the Cards, yeah.
Well, that's just a wildly successful couple.
Yeah. Oh, I know. and so but no, it's really cool, the amount of people, and people keep asking me, who are you most excited to meet? And I mean, the obvious is Barry Bostwick, and so no, I mean, obviously everyone is all big on Shatner, but like, dude,
even if you take Shatner out of the equation, the lineup this year is crazy.
Well, I know, and that's just it too. Like our photo ops. So just to throw out some numbers, last year, all total pre-sales and at the show sales, we did 270 photo ops. Okay, we have already actually counted them up just about an hour ago. We're already at 440 photo ops pre-sold.
Wow.
And I mean, not quite half, but probably over 150. Over 150 of them. So a solid third of them are Star Trek related, whether it's, the individuals or the ultimate Star Trek photo op we have, or just the next generation photo op we have. But yeah, I mean, you even take the Star Trek out of the equation and we have a killer lineup. We have 10 names at least here that would be the headliner at a similar size show.
Yep.
And I've jokingly said if we added like 100 more just random guests, we'd have a Dragon Con lineup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you have plenty of people beating down your doors. Is there more space at the BBC for this to continue to expand, or have you maximized it?
So
we could spill over to take up the North Hall and the East Hall. They should give you the East Hall for free. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Oh, no. So I was at the VBC yesterday for a meeting, and I walked over from the administration offices over to the South Hall, and you pass right past the North Hall, and that walk is not that bad.
No.
But yeah, the North Hall is 24,000 square feet. But then the cool thing about the North Hall, they just redid it. It's actually it hasn't reopened yet. But there's like a dozen or 14 rooms upstairs, ranging from like 400 square feet to 3,000 square feet.
Wow.
So, my thought is we spill over into North Hall first, put predominantly gaming over there. That way you have all these breakout rooms upstairs that can just go nonstop. Maybe put some vendors in there, whatever. And then, East Hall. East Hall's weird because it's an L shape.
Mm-hmm.
But it's three sections, so you can do a lot with it. But yeah, I mean, this year is going to be cramped. It's going to be cramped. I am looking forward to are you guys bringing the boom?
Oh yeah, that's what I started doing today. Was making sure. Well, I realized how close it got, and I was like, "Oh God, I got to bring everything out." I only break it out once a year, and it's for this show.
I just
So
like Two Brothers Comics is bringing the boom.
Yeah. So I got the plane, and I got it pulled out of there. Made sure the whole rig was set up. I actually have a shoulder rig coming to be able to try to do some different things, and I got about a $3,000 lens I added this year to the set.
Yeah, I saw your
able to
post
zoom.
today on the. Yeah, I mean,
So I'm hoping.
I'm bringing a $35 gimbal that I'm gonna put my phone on, and I'm just gonna go live randomly. I don't need to bring the boom. I mean,
Now you're talking my speed, Alex.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Dustin,
Nick is bringing an intercontinental ballistic missile. You're just bringing like a javelin.
And
But now, Jeremy, didn't you go live on Facebook one time, like a night before the show?
Yeah, I always
he does
do
that a lot
as
when
well.
he's doing the taping of the floor out.
Yeah, I'll do that sporadically throughout because I'll do it especially this year because I get phone calls and messages pretty much daily from people that have never been to a Comic-Con type show before, and they have no idea what to expect. They're like, I see photo ops are on. Can I bring in something to get autographed during the photo op? I'm like, no. All you do is, go to the table, before or after the photo op, before or after the panel, and, get in line. And I finally broke it down for people.
Yeah.
With using Disney. I'm like, you go to Disney World, you pay to get in, and then you go get in line to ride a ride. Once it's your turn, you ride the ride. Well, here you pay to get in, and then you go get in line for the guests. And once it's your turn, you can purchase photos or autographs, or just say hey. Now if you're just saying hey, kindly quickly move. But it's a lot of people have no idea. They're like, will I have an opportunity to meet such and such? Yes, absolutely. Now, will you have to wait all day to meet Shatner? Probably so.
The first
get there early.
Yeah.
The first con I'd ever been to was actually the Huntsville con when Chris Sabat and Sean Schemmel were there, and I waited in that line. Yeah, for Chris
for 4 hours.
Yeah, I was the very last person, I believe, me and my sister, before his photo op. And everybody in that line were so mad because as soon as we were all getting, at least, around me, I get up there, get my stuff. He goes, does his photo op, and he was gone for an hour. People were just like, oh, it's already been 4 hours. But honestly, though, that's one of my best memories. I mean, just sitting there, even it doesn't seem like it's that long. But, looking back on it, I mean, we enjoyed it. We got to talk to a ton of people. The people watching is always very interesting.
For sure.
And some of the best people watchings at a con. But
the cosplays that come through there, some of those are really creative and imaginative and really clever.
Yeah, but a lot of those guests, I mean, they're good at entertaining and they're constantly, I mean, it's just fun to watch. And it's always a good time, even if it is a long line. So,
well, and at least that line, it opens
3
at
o'clock
3
on Friday, right?
3 o'clock. 3 on Friday. It's
and if you're a smart cookie, you will show up and you will bring some nachos for Brian Silverbacks.
It's true. But talking about long lines and waiting, I mean, JDF's line in 21, he was supposed to be there at 11. He showed up at like 12:30, and at like 11:45, he's live streaming from his hotel room on Instagram.
We sat there for like 2 hours waiting for this man to come out because we were going to capture it from the top. He comes out, does this thing, and I'll never forget because I'm not a big JDF guy. I like never cared for the Power Rangers. Dustin's a huge fan.
Yeah,
but he stopped everything, told me to cut off the camera. He called us over there. I'm like, oh Lord, I'm about to get beat up by the Green Ranger. This is going to be embarrassing. And I tell you, this was the nicest human being I've ever met in my life. And if you go back and you watch that video, I mean, everything he did, that's why he had such a long, 30-second clip or so in that video from that year, was because he was like, look, whatever you guys want to do, get as close as you want. I'll go slow, whatever. But it's so cool as somebody who's not a fan, to be able to have that memory. And I became a fan of his just off that interaction. But it was the funniest thing in the world because, man, there were so many people waiting in that line and people were watching his live stream commenting, hey, we're here. Are you going to come out? Are you not? But, and what he did the night before was cool too.
When he went through the vendor hall.
Oh, that.
And just signed things for people.
Yeah.
Any vendor that had his merchandise displayed, he just signed it. And so they came in the morning. They're like, "What happened here?"
I'm gonna have to reprice this.
He just figured he saved himself a lot of time, I think.
I think there's a story we don't know, huh?
Yeah. So
Tell the story.
Josh knows this story. So 21, it was the first year that we were a 3-day show. And before that we were just Saturday, Sunday. And there you go. Plenty of long boxes. So we were all, a bunch of us was hanging out over at the AC Hotel. They've got a bar with outside seating and food and everything. And so a handful of us are hanging out over there. Now, a week prior to the show, JDF told me he couldn't come. He said he was having to film and he couldn't get away. It was literally the Friday before, like 1 week before. And so I was like, dude, I need you to send me a video saying, I'm sorry I can't come. I'll come next year. The fun part about this story is that was Good Friday. And I literally used the term, I'm going to be crucified for this.
Oh.
I wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
I was in the moment. So then he texted me back and he's like, oh man, I'll move stuff around. I'll come. I can't let you get beat up for this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, thank you. So then skip ahead. Friday at the show was very successful. Thursday night, I had a guest try to cancel because they missed their flight, and his agent called me, and I said, well, you get him on a flight tomorrow. I will announce tomorrow he can't come because he didn't make his flight, but you get him here, and he can be Saturday, Sunday only. So anyways, Friday, successful, and just sitting down with some of the guests, some family, some friends, some agents, and earlier that day, JDF had texted me and said, what's the airport pickup situation? I said, well, you're getting in at like 10:30. The show will be over. I'll come pick you up myself. He said, no, man, don't do that. We'll Uber in. We saying him and his assistant, Nicole. And so anyways, we're all hanging out and I'm watching the flight and, lands. Well, at like 10:20, so 5 minutes after it lands, I get a text from him on the group chat with him and Nicole and myself. It says, hey, Nicole, I missed my flight. When you get to Huntsville, just turn around and come back. Jeremy, I'll do your show next year.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I text him.
That's so mean. That's so mean.
Yeah. So I text back on the thread. I said, please tell me you're joking. Silence. I call Nicole. She doesn't answer.
They are dying, I bet.
And then a minute later, I get a text from him. I still have the picture. I'll show you next time I see you. But hey. I get a text from him, and this is 21, so he's masked, and all I can see is his eyes, and I can tell he's smiling, and he's giving a thumbs up. I'm like, what does this mean? Does this mean, hey, I'm good to do your show next year, or hey, I'm just messing with you? So then I call Nicole again. She still doesn't answer. And I am fuming. And like, when I got the original text, I just had a look of what? And like one of the agents that was there, she was like, what's wrong? And I threw my phone. I was like, look at this. And she was like, oh my God. And they were like passing my phone around. Yeah. They were passing my phone around just to show everybody. So everyone is like, hurting. Yeah. Oh, I was, yes. So then I get a text from him finally, and he says, man, I'm just messing with you. We're about 5 minutes from the hotel. And I text him back, and yes, this is now hindsight, poor choice of words, but I say, you realize I'm going to have to kill you for this. And then they get, and the thing is,
I'd like to see you try. I'm a ninja.
Right.
I had their room key, so I had to meet them at the hotel anyways. And so they get there, they come out of the car, and he is just losing his mind laughing. And I just look at him, I'm like, And I'd met him a couple times before that, and talked to him on the phone and everything. And I said, I'm glad you think we're so close that you can pull this crap with me. He's like, man, I got you. I'm like, yeah, you did. Like, what am I? I was like,
what am I supposed to think?
Well, and I told him, I was like, obviously, I thought you were kidding, because that was my response. Like, please tell me you're kidding.
Man.
So, but yeah, and then that's right before, because he was, we go in, they were staying at the embassy, and it's connected to the South Hall, and so I was showing him, just over that sky bridge is to get in. He's like, can we go look at it? I was like, sure. And so we walked over there, and we walked around, and he was like, hey, watch this. And he saw a Power Ranger thing, and he signed it. So I was like, let's go look at this big booth. It was my booth.
I don't know who this is, but they're going to be really happy.
Yeah. And
that is awesome.
But yeah, I mean, like, and that one hit me hard when it happened last year. Because, I mean, a lot of the guests that come, even guests that have come back, multiple times, like, I consider them, acquaintances or whatever, but I truly considered him a friend, because he would pull that crap with me. I'd text him on his birthday, he'd text me online, kind of thing. And so that, when that happened last year, that hit me hard. And of course, everyone was texting me. I remember it was Sunday morning, and when it broke, and everyone was like, "Is it true?" And I was like, "Yeah." So that was not fun, but that just shows like the level of fun guy he was, and his assistant Nicole, because you would get in line, and Dustin, you probably witnessed this. You would go say, I would like this thing signed, and you would leave with like 14 things.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not.
He was great to his fans.
First time I met him was at the Ranger Expo here in Atlanta, and I brought an exclusive from that Boom Studios thing that I bought from Josh. First day I ever bought comics.
Yep.
And it was a Lord Draken cover. Brought that, and I brought my year one Boom Studios hardcover because I wanted him to sign his insert. And it was $50 a piece. We got there 3 hours before the show started because I already knew he would bring thousands of people standing in line at all of his appearances. So I was like, we got to get there early and be one of the first few hundred. Well, I ended up being number 3 in line. There was another guy in front of me that had slept in the car with his kid all night in the parking lot. And his kid was the same age as my kid. So they were playing the whole time. Hagen had a White Ranger action figure in his hand. And after Jason signed my stuff and I was talking to him about his Harley he was building that used to be his dad's bike. And so we talked about that. And then he's like, oh, hey, man. He's like, if he'll give me his action figure, I'll sign that for him. And I was like, oh, it's okay, man. I only paid for the 2. And he was like, no, dude, it's cool. And he takes it from my son. He signs the back of it and hands it back to him. Well, Hagen doesn't understand that what just happened is the coolest thing ever. He starts crying because Tommy wrote on his toy. And I was like, I told him, I was like, you know what, son? There's a bunch of them over here. Give this one to Daddy, and I'll go buy you a brand new one, and we'll be cool.
That the mean man didn't write on.
But the last time that I met him, or the last time I saw him, was at Lexington last year.
Yeah.
And he was staying in our hotel. And he got on the elevator in the elevator lobby. And I stopped. I wasn't going to get on because I was just like, let him have his space. And him and Nicole are on there. She's a sweet person. Like she's very nice. And
what's crazy too, let me jump in right. Nicole is like a level 50 ultra black belt too, so she could like.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know that.
Or not his senseis, but she was under him, but like high up. So sweet as can be, but could also kill you.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know that. But I just kind of stopped. And were you standing in the lobby too, Nick?
Yeah, I was down there in the lobby because
I didn't know if it was you or Justin was like, "Are you going to get on?" And I was like, "No," and he was like, "Come on, man, you going up?" And I was like,
"Yes,
Nick's
sir."
Like, "You better go, dude." And I was like, "Oh shit!" So I get on the elevator, and it's me and him, and I didn't even notice that there was this like much older couple in there. And so we go up and we go to his floor first, and he's getting off. And I haven't said a word the whole time. I've met him and spoke to him 3 or 4 times, but I mean, this is the closest quarters I've been in, like, you know, outside of the shows. So I'm just sitting here like, oh my God, this is so cool, dude. I'm just standing right here in the elevator with my childhood hero. Elevator opens, he goes to get out and he trips. And I mean, he almost ate it. And when he caught himself, and he was just like, I'm good. And I was just like, that was so, like, he played it off like the man. And I was just like, oh my God. And the whole time he's falling, I'm like, oh my God, I'll catch you. You know, but
Dustin's diving to take that bullet.
so the doors close, and I look at Nicole, and she's laughing, and the older people, they're not really making any kind of a reaction. And I'm just like, this has officially been the coolest elevator ride of my entire life. The older people go, was he some kind of celebrity? I said, that is literally the childhood hero of an entire generation, including me. And I said to a lot of us, that is the coolest dude that has ever walked the planet. And they were like, oh. I was like, yeah. I was like, literally, I'm in my 30s, have more things in my house with that dude on it than anything else. I was like,
pictures of his kids.
and Nicole's just like laughing her head off at this whole thing.
All right, check this. This is a fun elevator story. We were at Wizard World Chicago, 2005, 2006, somewhere in that ballpark. And some of the guys that were with our group wanted to meet Kristen Bell because Veronica Mars was the big thing on TV. They wanted to meet Kristen Bell. I had never heard of the show, knew nothing about it. So 2 of the guys went and got in the line. And the way they used to do it was you got in line and they would go through and just hand you a ticket. And then you could go and meet her, get an autograph or whatever. Well, this year they had changed it. So they were going through the line and handing you and offering to sell you a ticket. And like, dude, I just stood in this line for like 2 hours and now you're going to charge me money? No, sir. So they left and went back to the hotel because they were steamed, right? But a couple hours later, we get tired. We go back to our hotel, and it was not the hotel connected to the event there. So we had to ride a bus and all this crap. Well, we get to the hotel. We're standing on the elevator, and it's like 3 of us and a couple of other folks on there. And the elevator starts to go up, and the one guy that is with me, one of my buddies, he looks over, and he just kind of splutters. And he goes, you're Kristen Bell. You're Veronica Mars. And she's like, yeah. And it's like, oh my God. And she and her boyfriend or whoever that was with her, they were really cool. And then he goes, hey, I know you've been busy all day. And would you mind if we took a picture with you? And she's like, no, that'd be great. Sure, why not? So he's going to just take a picture right there on the elevator. And she's like, well, let's get off the elevator and do it right. I'm like, okay. So it stops at our floor. We get off the elevator, and here's the kicker. Our room was literally right across the way from the elevator. We could see the door.
Yeah.
But we step off the elevator. She gets in there. We're all standing here. There's a nice backdrop and all this. She gets her boyfriend to take the picture with us. Never occurred to us to go grab the guys who were steamed because they wanted to meet her and bring them out. Right? Never even occurred to us to do that.
Why?
Yeah, just never even thought about it. So then we go in and we're telling them this story, and they're like, yeah, whatever. Because this is not in the day when you had a cell phone with a camera on it. We had the little disposable.
Yeah.
So they had to wait 2 weeks or whatever it was before they believed us because they thought we had just made the story up. And then when they believed it, we showed them the pictures. They were furious. Like, we were right there. We were 15 feet away. And I'm like,
you don't make Kristen Bell wait.
Sorry. But yeah, she was really, really cool. She was really cool. And it's kind of like in your situation, Nick. Like, I'd never heard of her, really. I didn't watch the show, nothing. But after I met her, I became a fan because she was really cool.
Well,
she's done a few things since then. So
a few. Yeah. Just a few.
But like I said, that moment with JDF, whenever we did that first con, or when was it? Was it 21 we did, Dustin? Like
Mhm.
Dustin just backed away. He's like, no, I'm not getting beat up by my superhero or my childhood hero. So I'm all over there, and he's talking to me, and Dustin's like hiding. But like it was honestly
I
genuinely.
think I was live on Instagram.
I don't know what you were doing, but I had the crane and like all of a sudden I'm there thinking I'm about to get hit in the face by JDF while you're running away. Because he looked real serious, and he basically what it was is he wanted me to avoid the line because he didn't want his image to be ruined because of COVID. That's literally what he told. He's like, I just
he was just worried that people would start like
hating on him because of the whole thing. But I mean, so we did. I mean, I don't think we ever showed his line. He, out of respect, but he was like, "Hey, come in here, man. Do whatever you want to do. Get as close." All the slow mo shots, he was literally like, that was him just moving like this.
Yeah, we didn't. He didn't have to slow it down or anything. Like,
like that was him. He was doing it all. It's like fantastic, man.
The way he was signing, kind of slow mo on the pot. I mean, he was great, man.
He was genuinely a sweet person. So I don't know.
Well, I hate to cut. I gotta help Eli with some math homework before bed. But thanks for
no worries, man. We're looking forward to the show. We can't wait.
For sure.
Look forward to.
We can't wait. Next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Everybody, come out to Huntsville.
Tickets at Haven.
One question though.
Go ahead.
Is your mom going to be setting up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Things we're looking forward to, and we're like, we're going to need some more of that pound cake.
Yep, she's going to be slinging her sweets. Yeah. All right, I'll see you guys.
That should be the name of it.
Later, Jeremy.
Sweets.
Have a good one, sir.
Say it.
But yeah, it's next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you're out of town, it's not too late to get tickets and fly in.
They're probably cheap right now. Now's probably a good time to go ahead and buy them.
That's probably true. But yeah, it's going to be a fun show. I'm looking forward to it. We haven't really talked about this, Alan, but I think we should. We ought to do a photo op with everybody showing up in their Haven shirts.
Yeah, we should do that. Say everybody wear their Haven shirt. I figure the majority of the people will be there Saturday.
Always, yeah.
I mean, I'll be there Friday and Saturday and Sunday, hopefully. But yeah, I say we do it Saturday. Just have everybody, Friday night, you wear your Two Brothers shirt if you got one. So there'll be 4 of us there.
Or your 9.2 crew.
I don't even have a Two Brothers shirt.
Yeah, mine all shrunk, man.
But Saturday, wear your Haven shirt, and we'll everybody get our pictures made. I do want to say this right quick. I know some people are watching on Two Brothers YouTube channel. Some people are watching on ours. I will be going live off and on, actually starting Thursday night, depending on how setup goes. We'll probably go live for a few minutes. If y'all are on the Two Brothers channel, jump over to ours, hit like, subscribe, and then
one of our moderators drop Haven's link in the chat. I know we've got moderators watching, and that way folks can click that link and come over here.
Yeah,
we'll be right across the aisle from you, Posey.
Make sure you do the notifications so you'll know when we go live next weekend, and we'll definitely be doing some videos. I mean, it's not just going to be live stuff. I'm going to walk around. We'll do some YouTube shorts. We'll check everything out, get some clips for y'all. Who knows? Maybe if I'm lucky, I can get like a nice video of Dustin and I embracing in our joy over a Daredevil #8, the first appearance of the greatest character ever invented.
You know what you guys need to do is get your picture taken with that Sons of Anarchy dude. One of y'all on either side.
I want to see you and him standing side by side. I'm not sure which one of you guys is bigger, is taller.
I'm game. I'll go hang out with him.
Look, I think it's pretty close. I mean, I saw him from afar at Atlanta Comic-Con 3 years ago, the very first show I ever attended, and he was a big dude.
I mean, oh crap! What was his name in Walking Dead? Was it Beta?
Yeah,
it was Goober Butt.
I mean, that was one of the reasons why they chose him. I mean, dude is just a friggin' beast.
Yeah. My favorite role he ever played will always be from Remember the Titans, though.
Yeah, great role. I tell you, at Con and again, I think it was Wizard World Chicago 1 year. They had Lou Ferrigno was there, and the dude right next to him. He plays mostly a bad guy in the movies. He's just an enormous dude with a shaved head, and they put him like in a leather vest and biker biker paraphernalia, and he just looks like the most menacing person you could ever meet, right? And he's like 6'9", 6'10", something. He's enormous. So standing there with him and Lou Ferrigno, and the three of us were just talking for like 25, 30 minutes. And that was a hoot because people would walk by and like, who the heck are those people?
I tell you, the two that I've met that got me the most was I got to meet Undertaker years ago. He was doing, believe it or not, he was doing an autograph signing at Jerry Dampson on University Drive.
He was
I
at
remember
MegaCon last year, and I didn't know it.
Well, I actually, I took my nephew at the time. This was years ago. And we're standing there in line, and we get up there. Super nice guy. First thing he does is he looks at my nephew. He asks his name, and then he signs a photo for him, looks at me, and sticks his hand out to shake my hand. And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. I go to shake his hand, and his hand literally engulfed mine.
Yeah,
and it was like this man could just toss me and do whatever he wanted to. And there's nothing I could do to defend myself. And then the other one was we were in St. Louis going to a Cardinals game, and Randy Johnson got off of the Diamondbacks bus, and he started signing autographs. And that is the first time I have ever had to look straight up at someone.
Yeah.
Dude is tall. I mean, he is massive.
Yeah. Only guy to ever kill a bird in the middle of a baseball game and make it
That was
explode.
something, man. That bird just exploded.
Yep.
Coolest baseball clip ever.
So we're about a minute past 2 hours. We got 13 people watching.
So let's get the show started.
Yeah, let's get the show started now. I'm gonna do our giveaway right quick. I will share my screen.
Look, I'm gonna share photo ops I'm gonna sell photo ops at the con this weekend. $5 get you a picture with Alan's head. $2
like your face is tattooed on Alan's head.
$5 you can take a picture with my bald head. $10 I will let you rub it for luck.
And I'm the pimp. Money.
Yeah, and then we will go from there. So we've got 13 people watching, and we got a lot more than 13 people's names. So
Alan,
we are going to go until somebody who's still watching actually wins this thing.
Alan, how much money do you think it would cost for photo ops with Josh while he takes his shirt off?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I did say that Josh would be signing autographs all weekend.
He does them for free at the shop on Saturdays.
I'm just saying. I mean, $15 autographs and belly pictures, selfies with his belly.
Let's do it.
Because you're not tall enough to stand next to him, so it would definitely just be a belly selfie.
So how about this?
Love it.
How about $20 and they get a photo op with all four of us?
Mustaches only.
Mustaches
How
only.
much for a piggyback ride for?
All right, let's spin the wheel and see if we still got somebody watching that's winning this thing.
Do 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 do.
Oh, Peter Lewis, are you still on?
Peter Lewis, are you still with us?
You got 40 seconds because that's about the delay period. So in 40 seconds, what are we going to talk about?
Well, we haven't really talked, Nick, about what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, what are you looking forward to?
Oh, what am I looking forward to? Well, Jeremy's mother, her cakes, not his.
I was about to say, please give some context there.
I guess I should be clear. Honestly, it's just like really great, like a cheesecake, pound cake kind of thing. But honestly, I'm only looking to buy 4 or 5 books this year. FF11, 47, 48. Sorry, 48, 49, 50, not 47.
But you got a 48, 49, and 50 sitting at Haven right now.
I know, man, but you are not at the price point I want to be at. I'm waiting for the economy to just burn, and I'm gonna buy them all for less than $300, $400.
No, you're not.
I don't
yeah,
see that happening.
bro. Do you want me to pull up the GPA on these things? A 1.0, 1.5, 2.0 on most of these are already right there, if not below.
Well, I mean, if you want a 1.0, I guess, yeah.
Okay, so Peter Lewis is a no-go. Let's spin her again and see what happens.
That's what she said.
Let's do it. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be?
Oh,
Steve White.
Steve White.
Steve White, are you still in the chat?
No, we got 40 more seconds. What should we continue to chat about? Yeah, what do you have them priced at, Josh? Or is that something you want to speak about publicly?
I don't remember. They're on the wall at the shop. I've got like 3 boxes of books here at the house that I have to price between now and next week, and I've also got to reprice all of our slabs.
Speaking of slabs, anything from Larry?
Nope, I talked to him 2 days ago, and still nothing. CGC is just quiet.
I don't even know
the
that
bad window.
I don't even know what he has of mine. I'm gonna be so happy.
Those
it's gonna be
Spider-Man
like
books, that
what-
Spidey 50 and all those.
But then he has like my Iron Man 1, and then all of the keys I bought last year. It's gonna be like Christmas all over again. Except when I look
it
up
absolutely
the
will
GPA,
be.
it's gonna crush my soul.
That's true. Well, don't look at it. There you go. You're not far off. You're
So
not
I
far
got-
off. You know.
Text message the other day. Is Jay still pressing and cleaning comics? Because I had somebody text me and ask about that.
Nope, he sold his stuff and he shut her down.
Oh, he did find somebody to buy it out.
Yep, sure did.
All right,
He had asked me about it. I didn't have the funds.
let's see who's up next.
Tots.
Oh,
Tots.
and
I
I
haven't
know
seen
Tots
Tots
is
on here
probably gone.
outside of the very beginning. I hadn't seen Tots on here all night.
It's rigged.
yep.
We're back up to 15 people, so a couple of people have tuned back in to see if they can win this.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and remove Tots. We know he's gone, so we won't wait to spin. Let's see if you're present. I mean, holler at me. Let me know you're here.
If this one doesn't work out, we can just give it to Ryan. We know he's here.
Man Cave Comics. Are you still with us?
Oh, that's my buddy from the hunt. So if you guys remember when I was gifted Marvel Spotlight number 5,
I do remember
Yeah.
that.
this guy right here.
How do I get to become that man's friend?
Yeah, really.
Nobody's ever gifted me anything that cool. I wish I had a friend that would gift me like FF49. That'd be cool. Or
Matthew
48.
Posey, you're getting so
40,
close.
49,
It's just not
50.
happening.
I bet I could. I know a guy who could probably work that up on a 49
A gift?
and a 50.
Blue,
He would probably
you still
do it
with
just
us?
to piss you off.
He probably
Done it
would.
before.
Just because he'd know I'd end up
He's
like
done it before.
he tried to give me a whole bunch of
Gosh, he
flash
ain't
books
yourself
last
and
week, and I told him
refused to let you
no.
pay for it just because he knows it gets on your nerves.
Hey, Serge, how you doing? Blue Hellion, are you still here? He is still here. There you go.
All right,
And
Blue,
He's the winner.
you win
Hey,
the retailer incentive.
before you mail it to him, I have some stuff that's just I kind of had for him.
Yeah.
We need to get together and mail it together.
So how about we do this? We'll get together next weekend. I mean, we're going to be together at the expo,
We'll be touching.
especially after them dirty pictures you were texting me during the stream earlier.
No, I told you
If
he
you are
was
going to
gonna
do
do
this, Alan, just make sure Nick gives you the stuff so you can mail it out. Otherwise, it will never get mailed out.
I'll give you the
will take
cash.
care of that. But yes, Nick did text me a dirty picture during the stream.
I'll show it. I'm not afraid. Y'all are the ones that were hyping this man's artwork up,
Just
and I
don't
said,
go text any videos of your brother, Nick.
I mean, do we want to? It's got areolas on it. Do you want to
Do
show
not
that? Or
show
no?
that. No, sir.
Okay.
Blue, as soon as I can get with Nick, we will get this stuff. I will get this stuff in the mail to you as quick as we can.
Let's throw some freebies in from Haven too while we're at it.
I tell you what, I'm going up to the shop tomorrow. I can grab a couple stickers.
Yeah, grab some stickers, some of those pins or whatever.
You need to come up here to BFE Meridianville and grab this stuff.
Well, you know, I mean, we only live about 20 minutes from each other. I mean, we could like,
I could just meet you at the Haven. I mean, I don't know about tomorrow. I'm literally on back-to-back calls from about 9 until 3. But yeah.
let's see, I won't even be up there till after 4 because
Mm.
I'll go up there while Bug's in dance class.
Oh, bug diddly. Actually, no, I'll be picking Ellie up about 2:30, which is right next to. But I'm assuming that's well before you guys get there.
I mean, we can either get together one day this week, or I mean,
Yeah, we'll make it happen, Captain.
yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So G.I. Joe, though, I'm really intrigued by G.I. Joe, Josh.
Now
Thinking
we're
about-
talking.
I mean, Marvel
All right,
Universe.
while y'all get into that conversation, I got to be up for work in like 4.5, 5 hours. So
Dustin, don't even be
I'm
like.
gonna roll out of here.
You know you don't sleep
good.
or eat.
Man, I'm looking forward to seeing you next weekend, Dustin.
Oh yeah, I can't wait, man.
I'm not.
I'll give you a
just-
great big old hug up under my shirt.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm
Hey,
hoping that
if
I'll be able to
you-
get off work in time to be able to get there and be at the show some Friday. I wanted to bring my son and let him walk around and enjoy some
Hey,
of it. So
Do kids under 12 still get in for free?
Yes, they do.
Okay, I couldn't find that on any of the advertisements.
Yep.
But we wanted to bring Allie this year, and
Yep.
obviously Dustin wanted to bring Hagen, but
Bring them. They free.
All right. Well, thanks for
What about
having me,
wipes?
guys. I will let you guys talk with Nick some more about some GI Joe. Alan, Josh, I will see you guys in like 8 days.
All right, we'll see you
bud.
then.
Later, fellas.
We're good, bud. All right, I got like 4 minutes to talk G.I. Joe.
I was just messing with you. I was trying to see how long I could keep y'all on because y'all are both steadily trying to get out of here. I am intrigued by it though. Like I've been seriously considering reading it secretly, just so I could like talk to you about it later and be like, it'd be like, how do I? What's a good metaphor for this? Like I just know it would do your heart well.
It would make my old man heart happy.
All joking aside, here's one good thing that I think you would enjoy about G.I. Joe. You're not always stuck with the same characters.
But I love the same characters if they're done well.
Yeah, well, there's so many characters. There's so many team members. They can rotate in and out team members, and it's
based on mission needs and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel rushed. It doesn't feel like they've just thrown somebody in just to get them in there. I mean, they do a really good job with Larry Hama had done an outstanding job with that comic, and with all the characters that he's created for it.
100% accurate.
Do we know if he's gonna write the next series, so to speak?
Based on the way number 300 ended, that certainly seems to be the case.
Yeah,
just if they would ever say who's going to be publishing it when it's coming out, I need that to happen pretty quick because I'm getting twitchy. What was promoted as like a big end of the line. This is the terminal point for this story was a cliffhanger. And I'm like, it's painful. I need to see how this goes.
Too funny.
And I just got one thing to tell you, Nick, because without G.I. Joe, you don't get cool things like this.
What is that?
That is Serpentor.
Oh, God. That is a comic book name from hell if I've ever heard of one.
Serpentor.
Was it?
He is the amalgamated DNA of some of the world's greatest military leaders. Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, you name it.
Joe Biden.
I might be wrong, but was he introduced in the cartoon or the comic book?
No,
first?
he was introduced in the comic.
Okay.
This I command. Yeah, Serpentor was pretty awesome. And I gotta admit, see, Empire knows what he's talking about.
Yep.
Cobra Commander, always a little on the whiny side. Like, who's following that dude? Serpentor, you'd follow that guy.
He's somebody you'd line up behind and just destroy all of humanity for.
And
he's got charisma.
And this new version of Serpentor that he created right here at the end, you're almost like, hey, it might be a good idea if y'all did in the comic here. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to beat this one.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. But no, dude, if you ever seriously consider reading G.I. Joe, I couldn't be more behind you in that. I would cheer you on. I'd be very excited for you.
I don't even know if it's on the app. I need to check real quick.
I bet it's not.
Actually, I think it is.
Because it's a Marvel property, right?
First 300 issues, wasn't it? No, 150.
Well, 155 issues. It was 155 issues.
Let's see. Joe Fixit. No,
this
G.I.
is the
Joe.
latest. This is the latest one I got.
I cannot.
Alan.
Yes, sir.
Outback.
Have you seen the? I think they're coming out with a new Outback with the motorcycle.
Does he come to the steakhouse?
As it happens, yeah, he's a fine cook.
See, I got the gray-haired Outback. I love that version of him.
That one's all right. I like the original.
Josh, okay, before we exit, there's one last thing we haven't talked about is Disney.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a way. Hold on, I'm going to rephrase what was about to come out of my mouth to make my wife happy with vacation whilst not going to Disney, but they're like, I'm trying to somehow involve some Disney so she is happy. I'm tired of going and spending 7 to 9 days at Disney World while spending several $1,000s. But I like to still go on vacation. Like, but what's an alternative?
Okay, so here's a good one for you. And we usually do this every summer. We're not doing it this summer because we got like a bunch of little mini trips planned. Go to Wilderness at the Smokies in Sevilleville, Tennessee. Your wife will love it. Ellie will love it. Y'all will have a blast. You will enjoy it. It's a big, massive resort. It's right outside of Pigeon Forge. With the hotel room comes access to, three different water parks. And the water parks are attached to the hotel.
Are they clean?
They're very, very clean. Oh, yeah. Very nice.
I'm a germaphobe.
Yeah, one of the water parks is literally specifically for children your daughter's age.
Perfect.
And yeah, it would be great. And it's one of those, and you can go, you can swim all day long, do whatever you want to do. And then at night, you're literally a less than 15-minute drive from Pigeon Forge, literally right up the road. And then just beyond that is Gatlinburg. So you can go, you got tons of restaurants, tons of stuff to do.
And see, I'm trying to Dollywood. I'm trying to create this master plan where she lets me take us to Japan, and then we throw like a day at Japan.
Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea. That's the way to go.
That's all I want to do in life. Like, let me go there one time, and then we'll just go to Disney forever, I guess. But I've never heard that place, so that sounds good.
If you're wanting like say a 3 or 4 day getaway, I would say Wilderness at the Smokies. It's going to be reasonably priced. There's something there for everybody.
It's only a 4-hour drive.
Yeah, and I was thinking about going to, like, maybe we could go to the one in California, but I refuse to step foot in that state. I mean, people are getting, especially in that area, it's wild what's happening over there right now.
Disneyland is a pretty amazing experience, though. I'll talk to her and get her excited about it, and you'll have to go.
No. Yeah, I was trying to think, like, and then there's Hawaii Disney, but I didn't know if there's like anything else.
Well, Aulani is just a hotel.
Is it?
No park or anything. Yeah. It's just a hotel.
I don't want to go there.
It's very nice. It's beautiful, but it's just a hotel.
Yeah. Well, then I looked at Disney Cruise. I don't know who the hell would go on a Disney Cruise instead of just going to Disney because it's like 5 times the cost.
Yep. Disney Cruises are pretty spectacular, though.
Sky's been on one with her and her mom, and I would love to take Ellie on one, but like,
dude, you could drop her off in the children's play areas, and she would never want to see you again.
No. That's the other thing. I'm a helicopter dad.
Just Lou Mangello is like the super overprotective helicopter dad. The only place he ever felt comfortable dropping his kid off was at the child care center on the Disney Cruise Line. And he's like, and I would leave them there all day. And I'd go to pick them up, and they'd be like, no, Dad, go away. I'm having fun.
That's funny.
It's structured activities in the coolest places with the coolest sets. I mean, you should really look it up. It's amazing.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I've not heard of that outside of it.
Yeah. But that said, I got to go. I got stuff I got to do, and I will see you guys hopefully Saturday, if not before. But if not, we'll see you at the expo, and it will be awesome. Check out the shorts that Alan is making, you guys. They're awesome.
I think we need a short of you singing about comic books. I always forget you can sing.
I can sing some comic book songs.
Maybe what we can do is, and Josh, if you need to go, Nick and I can go ahead and sort this out and plan your expo weekend. But I'm thinking Josh singing
shirtless
opera at the Haven booth about comic books.
G.I. Joe comic books.
G.I. Joe, real American hero.
Holding an action figure in each hand.
Yeah, I could do that. Get some American flag pasties.
I think Jeremy's gonna not allow any of us to enter.
That may be. But yeah, I gotta check out. You guys can stay on chat if y'all want, but I gotta check out. Y'all have a great night.
One more thing to say, and then I'm gonna leave it up to Nick. So we will talk to you either. Well, actually, we'll probably end up talking to you tomorrow sometime.
I'm sure I'll get a text.
Yeah. But like I said, next weekend, I don't know what Nick's plan is with the Two Brothers channel, but I will definitely be going live off and on. I'll definitely be following folks around. I'm going to get footage of like vendors, cosplayers, celebrities. We'll definitely have some videos, a ton of new short material. Y'all make sure to hit the notification bell on the YouTubes so you'll know when we go live. And that's really all I had left.
We are not showing up as Two Brothers Comics. We just show up as the guys with the crane doing media the whole time. So probably won't, unless Dustin goes live or something. I'll basically just be recording. Like I said, I got the shoulder rig showing up this weekend. That's going to be fun. I was kidding out the what's up here now, but the Instagram photo, you guys saw that maybe. So it's going to be fun. I'm hoping it'll be the best one we've done so far.
And he does. And if y'all haven't checked them out, go check out their YouTube channel. He's done some really good.
Just check out the expo.
And not just the expo. I personally think Nick has missed his calling in life.
Me too.
And that's what he needs to be doing.
Yeah, I can't make as much money off the gate though.
Yep.
What was I gonna say though? Oh, I was gonna. So what was I gonna say? Oh, if you want to see any of the videos we've done, it's on the Huntsville Expo website. So that's cool. And then I did his trailer for him this year with all of his guests. So, but yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be enjoyable.
Hey, while we're on here, and oh crap, I gotta find it in here.
I'm trying to think of some of the controversial topics we've. What's the longest y'all have ever had a guest on?
Actually, it's tonight.
You guys are welcome.
You're
welcome for all the content.
We have y'all have not done a Babylon in a few weeks. So we have busted all up into Babylon territory with the time that we're going.
Yeah, it was Easter and then Dustin was sick. And then before that, what happened? Oh, he had a wedding. What do you guys in the chat want to talk about? What y'all want to talk about? I know y'all have some questions.
I know. Yeah, we got like 6 people watching. I mean, y'all holler out something. Tell us what you want to talk about.
I can't see anything. I don't have visibility, but I will give you some of my opinions if you want it. I'm all about giving.
Okay, right there. Favorite gas station snack.
Is that even a question? Beef jerky.
Really? I like the Bahama Mamas or the Baja Mamas, the pickled sausage things. They're like, oh yeah, dude. They're so nasty. They're good.
Oh, my dad used to get those things out of the glass jars. That, the eggs, and the pickled pig's feet, or chicken's feet sometimes.
See, I don't think that should really and truly count because you can buy them at Walmart also.
Hey, have y'all ever been to a racetrack before? Because there's one opening up in Huntsville, and y'all are going to be so pleased. The food there is fantastic.
Are you talking about the one at the corner of 53 and Rideout?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Quick Trip is better. They're Atlanta. These are all from Atlanta, but Quick Trip has better food. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Surge. Yes and no. So I'm only buying like 4 or 5 this year that I really want, and I'm just waiting on prices to drop. Dustin just showed off at the beginning of the show one of his new Batman comics, but yeah, he's still actively buying a lot more than I am. I'm still buying a ton of omnibus and stuff, but I don't even know how many I have on pre-order right now. It's probably far too many. But as far as comics, I'm only buying FF11, 13. I missed that one earlier. 48, 49, and 50. Those are the 5 on the list this year, but I need them to be like dirt cheap.
What is your YouTube handle right now?
I don't know. Two Brothers Comics.
Well, no, I've got that one. I've got Two Brothers Comics in as a moderator. I was going to add you as a moderator too.
Oh, Stiltman sucks, but I got to change it. I can only change it twice in 14 days.
Thank you very much, Ben Compton.
Yes.
You absolutely rock.
Thank you, Ben. For you guys that don't know, Haven is my local comic shop. The local comic shop. The premier comic shop in Huntsville.
And we do have there it is. Stiltman Sucks with the Goku.
Yeah. So I realized that I can only change it twice in 14 days. The first one, I think I did like your bald head or something else. And then it wouldn't let me change it back. So I got to wait a few days.
So I got this idea for a video that I think we should do next Saturday. It could be a YouTube short. It'd probably be best as a YouTube short. No, it could be an actual video that you'd have to edit. But it'll make Dustin uncomfortable. But
if it makes him uncomfortable, it'll probably make me more uncomfortable.
Well, we do like me running in slow motion when I see him. And then just wrap my arms around him and give him a big hug. And then you do like the John Williams music from the 1980s movies.
You would have better luck getting me to shave my mustache than him do that. Tell you right now.
That would be funny, though.
It ain't going to happen.
It ain't going to happen?
No. Unless he was in like a spectacular mood. Yeah, man. And like, I think it's still, I mean, we're seeing massive price drops. So I think it's, I'm still going to wait a few more months before I pursue anything, unless Josh is willing to really work with me and then do like a payment plan. But even then, I think there's still a higher grade than what I'm wanting to spend on. You know what I mean?
I think we're going to continue to see some of the prices come down over the next few months. I think that there's some books that we're just not going to see come down.
I can't think of one book that's held its value immensely.
Well,
name one.
Like the first appearance of Galactus and stuff, like what we were talking about earlier.
It's crashed.
Has it crashed? See, I didn't figure something like that. Or first appearance of Wolverine. I just don't see that crashing. Well, I think it's really going to depend on what your definition of crashing is. What is it right now?
Like half of what it was. I can pull up the GPA for all of these if you want.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. It is, but now's a good time because prices are so bad. So we'll just pull up the Fantastic Four ones. It all depends on the grade, right? And there are some books that aren't going to have great GPAs. Let me share screen. All right, so Fantastic Four. This is my GPA. I mean, heck, even ASM 1, you know, it's half of what it was. Can y'all see this? Cool.
Yep.
Cool beans. All right. So look at this. $2,000 dropped. $2,000 dropped. Let's keep going. Half or not half. You know, but a good. Yeah. No, look. Because if you look at last sale, $1,600, so that's almost a full $1,000. 3 O's, 900. I mean, we're getting. This was like unheard of a couple of years ago to be under 100 or under 1,000.
Well, here's the thing on that. People were sitting at home a couple of years ago, and they were rediscovering these old loves. Yep. Basically, is what it comes down to, and it started driving the market. And I mean, it was there. Comic books, we were headed toward, for lack of a better way to put it, a market correction to begin with. So I'm just surprised it crashed this hard the way it has.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, it's all the way down. I mean, you look, $1,000 was the average, and now its last sale was $650. And these are probably eBay sales, which means private sales are probably even less than that because, you know, no eBay fees, taxes, things like that. So, you know, it's wild.
So pull up Daredevil 8 because that will be the next. And I mean, all joking aside, I do love that character. That will be a purchase when I find a good one that I really want.
What are you looking for? What grade?
I really and truly don't care about the grade, to be honest with you. It's just I want the book.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would be happy with a 2, 3, 4, something like that. So, I mean, look, yeah, that's come down a lot. Cause I mean, they were a couple of $100 not too long ago.
Yeah. And now you can get a mid grade for less than $200.
Yeah. And see, and that's not I mean, that's not a book that a ton of people are going after.
No.
You know, I mean, yeah, people that are going after that book, they want it because it's a extremely low number Daredevil. It's in the first 10. Honestly, I want it because, yes, I do collect Daredevil comics, but it is the first appearance of Stiltman. I do love that character. I just think he's a fun character. But now, I mean, am I going to go spend $3,000 on first appearance of Stiltman? Yeah, that's not happening. I'm just not spending that money for something like that. $100-$200, I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. Like I said, man, you know, people were kind of like, oh no, it's never going to drop and crash and burn. And Dustin was like that for a minute, but yeah, it got bad quick.
So I have a question for you about your Fantastic Four run. What book do you need? Do you need more in a Silver Age or do you need more in Bronze Age?
So I'm not buying them all. And what I've been doing since basically Spider-Man is just buying comics of the characters that I loved while reading. And so for me, so far in Fantastic Four, all I've really wanted, or the only characters I've really loved have been Impossible Man, The Watcher. When those two show up, you know it's going to be a good book. Silver Surfer, Galactus, and then that 50 is just a great cover too. But those are really the biggest characters that I love. And I love Doctor Doom, but FF5, I love it more for the story. And I just don't know if I care enough about Doctor Doom to go drop that kind of money. You know what I mean? So it honestly blows my mind reading it that Doctor Doom is more popular than Galactus. Sorry.
After I finish the Daredevil run, I'll probably start Fantastic Four from the very beginning.
Yeah. Get ready. I mean, at first it's going to be great. Then it's going to get real rough real quick.
Yeah. Well, see, even with Daredevil, I mean, you know how it is when you read Silver Age comics. Yes, Stan Lee is a genius. Stan Lee is the god of comics. But at the same time, that man was wordy. And I mean, he literally wrote things and put stuff in the story that it did not need to be there. You know, You didn't need to tell me that Daredevil flipped backwards over the wall. I see it in the panel, Stan. I see that he's flipping backwards over the wall. Hey, what's up, Kyle?
What's up, man?
What we got going on? So you kind of picking some Silver Age Bronze, but you want the main books. Am I right, Nick?
No, I'm actually the only other book of Fantastic Four I bought was 176 when Stiltman comes back and he basically beats everybody up, including the writers and stuff. But like I said, I've really restricted kind of just buying runs and stuff. And if I do love something like that, I end up buying the omnibus. That's why I got all the Spider-Man omnibus and stuff like that back there. And I haven't decided if I'm going to pursue the Fantastic Four omnibus or not yet. There just hasn't been one specific run where I'm like, oh, I love this. But we'll see how it is with the burn. But no, like I said, I mean, comic book wise, you know, I may literally only buy 5 or 6 comic books this year that are outside of New Comic Book Days, and it's probably going to be those. I think this year so far I've only bought 176, and that's basically been kind of it. Oh, now I'm starting to get tired. Good Lord.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I'm not going to be too much longer than I'm getting up out of here. I've been buying like back issues of Daredevil, back issues of G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all. But I mean, then again, I mean, we're only in April, you know, so it's not like. But I mean, that's really all I plan on buying anyway. I mean, if I run across a Silver Age Batman or Superman or Aquaman or something that I like, because I do pick up Silver Age comics. Sometimes it doesn't even matter if I'm collecting that particular character or not. It's just a simple fact of I love those 12 and 15 cent comic books. So, I mean, it depends on what I see at the expo next weekend. But I guarantee you there'll be some G.I. Joe and there'll be some Daredevil bought.
Yeah.
So, but we have gone longer than any Shop Talk has gone to date. So, I know Josh has left us. He's no longer with us. He called it a night, but we will still end it the way Josh likes to end it. And like I said, y'all hit that notification bell, and we will talk to y'all throughout the expo next weekend.